You should be able to hear me. Um, let's just see if you can. I gotta go back to where the stream is. Let me know if you've got an echo. You should not, but you should be able to hear me. Okay. Let's just see if you can. I gotta go back to where the stream is. Okay. Hey, Cheetah's Let me know if you've got an echo. You should okay, not, thank you. But you should be able to hear me. Okay. Oh boy, there's an echo, huh? Let's just see. Oh, that will, I know why that's there. Okay, now there should be no echo. Is there no echo now? Let me know if I fixed it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I tried to fix it. Thank you, Susanna. Thank you, Hope. Thank you, Kylie. It's so great to have you guys here. Um, let me know if you're able to hear it correctly now. It should be echo free now. Is it echo free now? Oh, thank you, Cheetah. Thank you, Kylie. Okay. Welcome back. Oh my gosh, the amount of technical gymnastics. Because I wanted to be able this time when you get a reading, I really wanted to be able to give you pictures of the cards when I do the reading for you. So, um, yes, now that I have that set up, we can do both tarot and astro. Hooray! Here is all of the information. That is the PayPal link. Once you click that PayPal link, it'll take you to the page where you can make your payment. And with that payment, it's $44.44. Readings are roughly about 5 to 8 minutes. And when I receive your payment, I take readings in the order that payment was received in. So if you want to get a reading, all you have to do is click that PayPal link and make your payment. It is $44.44. There is, and then I have all of my oracle cards and all of my tarot decks, and I'll be able to pull additional messages and insights for you if you would like to get on today's list. So super exciting. I'm really pumped to be able to do this. Let me get my list going. Actually, I have a notebook. Allow me to grab the notebook. Cool. The notebook. And okay, I see Rashita is first on the list. Thank you, Rashita. So let's just see. You should see Rashita's name there. Okay. And good. Okay, so Rashita's on the list. I will just see who else is on the list before starting Rashita's reading. Rashita, Susanna K's on the list. And Rashita, if you would put your question with your birth details in the chat, Kylie has posted how that is meant to look. Then we can go ahead and get started. Okay. So right now it's just Rashita and Susanna K. And then from there, we'll be able to read for some more people. You would be next if you decide you'd like to get on the list today. Okay, so let me come back to the chat. Okay. Hey, Raven. Great to have you here. Hi, Flickerine. Great to have you here. Okay, Sheeta's cooking. I think you and I have done this before. You're up. Let's have your birth details and you. All right. Perfect. And if you're just joining, welcome. I would love to read for you. There's only two people on the list right now, Rashita and Susanna, and you would be next. So I'm going to go ahead and set up Rashita's chart. Let me, there we go. Go back into Zoom and just share this screen. Here we go. All right. Oh, perfect. It should be showing it. Let me stop that video so you guys can see. Sheeta's cooking is Charlotte, North Carolina. And Rashita is 517. Hey, happy belated birthday, Taurus. Love that for you. And we've got 4:31 p.m. Cool. Okay, Charlotte, North Carolina, 5/17/1982, 4:31 p.m. Okay, we got it. Let's pull Rashita's chart to the right here. Right, and let me just check the time, 2:16 p.m. Okay, so Rashita says, I've had a big career opportunity come up recently. I wanted to see what the rest of 2025 will bring me in career, money, and what's up with my love life. So I can take one question. It sounds like career is the thing that you're most interested in. So I'm going to work career, and then we'll do some tarot around that. And if you want to look at love, you just need to get another reading. But I can do one kind of subject in a one question, one chart live mini reading. So let's just take a look. Congrats on the big opportunity. Oh, you're not kidding. I'm seeing this is a big opportunity. So Jupiter the expander is arriving in your 10th house. This opportunity gets even better if you can believe it next year. I'm seeing here that the arrival of this opportunity has likely come with some money for you. And if you stay with this opportunity, it comes with not just money, but lots of visibility. And in about 2 to 3 years' time, a raise. I would say probably more like 3 to 4 years' time, like a huge, huge, huge payday, huge payout. This is a big deal. This particular opportunity through the remainder of this year and into next year, it's going to elevate you. It's going to put you under a spotlight. This is sort of a career changer sort of move where the status of how you've been known, Shita, it's about to elevate and magnify and amplify significantly your influence, your impact, the way people see you, your reputation, the way people understand you. And this is the sort of opportunity that's going to lead to more opportunities. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be like a job or if you work for yourself. I imagine, given your handle here, that you work for yourself and you do something with cooking or with food potentially. But this is going to expand team for you. It's going to allow you to, if you work for yourself, hire some of the right people that you need in order to be able to go to the next level in business. And if you are being hired by somebody else, working with somebody else, you will get the opportunity to be elevated or a manager or lead sort of position in such a way where there are people who work under you and report into you and, this sort of thing. But I see you in part were really hired for some of your emotional intelligence with Jupiter moving through Cancer, and the way it's going to amplify your moon in Pisces in the house of service and impact and influence. So, this is really going to go a really, really long way for you. I don't see any significant red flags here. If anything, once Juno goes direct in roughly a month's time, so on July 10th, the one thing I would say would be really important for you to do, especially if you're working for somebody else, just double check your pay stubs, double check your paychecks, and make sure that the way the paperwork was filed is correct for your tax withholding, and all of the other withholdings that you have. Because I see that once Juno goes direct in this particular house, the house of earned income, there may be like a refiling that you need to do around the paperwork around work that you built completed at hire, especially if there's anything regarding like 401k or like health plans. But what I would also say with this is it's if you're working for yourself, Shita, this is going to be you finding a business partner who's going to elevate you after July 10th. This is going to be a power player of some sort who's really going to help you. He or she is going to come in and assist you with making more money via really understanding the value of your work and how to portray it and present it in the best light. This may be more of a behind the scenes person, given that Juno governs Taurus, and Taurus is part of the eighth house of secrets and shadows and things that are kept behind the veil. Juno also governs Libra, so she's in part your chart ruler. And so, if this isn't a partner who comes in or a collaborator as your chart ruler when Juno goes direct, I do see you having significantly more energy, significantly more insight and information. And you may even be the person who reaches out for collaboration to get your name out there more. So that's what I have on the astrology side. Let's just take a moment and I want to switch over uh, to the tarot side and give you a little bit of tarot insight. If you're just joining, thank you. It's great to have you here. I'm now going to read the cards for this opportunity that Shita has. If you'd like to get on the list, you absolutely can. The way to do that is through the PayPal link that you'll see pinned in the top comment. Inside of that PayPal link, or when you click that PayPal link and you send 4444, you will be on the list. As of right now, I'm reading for Rishita. I'm about to go to Susanna, and you would be right after Susanna. So right now, after Susanna, I have Krista K, I have Keely, and then I have Judy. So that's the list. You would be next. Rishita, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and do your tarot for how does this work opportunity looking for you? How does this bear out? What does it bring you? How does it serve you? Let's take a look. Congratulations again, Shita. And Jay Philly, welcome. It is, if you would like to get on the list, I think that's you, Judy. It's not your turn yet. As you can see, there are some people who are on the list just before you. I'm going to go ahead and read for them. Your question's going to get pushed down, and I'm not going to be able to see it. So just copy and paste that when I call your name, and that'll be after I do Keely. Thank you so much, Jake Billy. Um, Sheeta's higher self, her angels, guardians, and guides, God, divine. Tell us what Sheeta needs to know about this career opportunity that's just landed for her. First card out is the Ace of Wands. Give us two more cards to help us understand how she can best take advantage of this opportunity. Second one is Queen of Pentacles. And let's just see. Third card out. God, what do you want Sheeta to know? Give her a symbol, a message that's just for her. It's going to help her understand. Give her some visuals that'll help her understand what this opportunity can do and be for her. Whoa, 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 whoa. There you go, Sheeta. I mean, I think that spread really speaks for itself. We do see here the Ace of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Ten of Cups. I mean, you couldn't have pulled better cards for a career opportunity. What I'm seeing here with the Ace of Wands is that this opportunity is really going to help you feel like yourself in some ways that you may not have felt like yourself for a long time. It's going to allow you to feel like you know who you are, you're in your sweet spot, you know what you're doing, and you are in a place where you're feeling alive, like really alive. And I love to see that for you. Then we have the King of Pentacles who has come out here, and the King of Pentacles is really speaking to this being you really stepping into and owning some of your masculine energy when it comes to directing and guiding your career. And that's a good thing. We all have both masculine and feminine, and our masculine energy is really just about taking action, holding down the fort, being accountable in ways that are deeply focused on consistency and follow through and stability. And really like holding the line around this business. And clearly, we're talking about Pentacles. We're talking about the boundaries of this business in such a way that allow you to feel like, yeah, I got this. I'm not dependent on anyone for my success. And then, of course, we have the Ten of Cups, which is just happiness upon happiness upon happiness. This is not just the spiritual fulfillment of the Ace of Wands, it's also the emotional fulfillment of the Ace of Cups. And of course, you can't get a higher card in the deck than the King of Pentacles. So, congratulations, Sheeta. The only thing I will add is that bottom of the deck here, we do see the Queen of Swords. And this is speaking to the fact that you are going to be required to know not know, but like to first of all, two things. I'm seeing be a knowledge leader in your field, be on the cutting edge, the leading edge of what there is to know informationally about what you're doing. If there's new tech coming out, if there's hot new trends coming out, you need to be aware of these things in order to assist your success. Secondly, I will also say is there's going to be some times where you're going to need as wonderful and rich feeling as this will be, as much as you're going to want to take everyone along with you for the ride. This Queen of Swords speaks to needing to work inside of discernment, because everyone who started with you isn't necessarily going to rise with you, and it'll be important for you to know where you need to cut ties so there's actually room on your bus for people who are playing at your level and going to the next level with you. Okay, that's what I have for you, Sheeta. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be able to read for you. And if you want to have a little chit chat about love, feel free to go ahead and book. I'll add you right back to the list. We're going to go ahead now to Susanna, who's next. Susanna, if you would, it's your turn. Please, your cue and info in the chat. One chat only, if you can, please. As Peter did. Oh, well, I didn't even get to finish typing that out. Susanna was ready. Okay, look, y'all. Here's the thing. If you're new here, welcome. I'm super grateful to have you. You see how Susanna and Sheeta did like set their thing up where they provided their question and their birth details all in one chat. That's how I need you to do it. Okay. So I just finished with Sheeta. Right now, I am going to be setting up for Susanna K. Then I'll read Krista, Keely, Judy, and Amanda in that order. If you'd like to get on the list, you absolutely can. You would be right after Amanda. I'd be honored to read for you. We're doing tarot and astro today. And let's just go ahead and bring in a new chart and share the screen so that you can see. I think I shared the screen. Let me try that a different way. Screen a different way. That. Here we go. Bring that up. Come back to Zoom. Where is my screen open? Oh, there she is. Okay. Duh. It was a snake. It would have bit me. Here we go. Perfect. Great job, Kay. All right. So let me find my intel for Susanna. There we go. Susanna K is London, United Kingdom. Thank you, Susanna. I spend about 5 to 8 minutes per person, so feel free to jump on the list. It is moving fairly quickly today. I want to thank everyone who is joining, everyone who is so wonderfully prepared for this. So 3:18:98, 6:30 a.m. London. Okay, here we go. Reading start time is 2:31. All right, Susanna. So your question is, I'm looking for connection and wondering when and how the next person will come into my life. Happy to hear about love or friendship, whatever comes up. Beautiful question. Let's take a look and just see which house there will be expansion in pertaining to connection. Okay, wow. This is very interesting. So just see, yep, double confirmation. It's a friendship is Scorpio, or sorry, Capricorn. And it's this one, siblings, cousins, and neighbors is Mercury. Yeah, so it's not going to be any of those at this time. Believe it or not, and this is, just check your Venus and your Juno. They're governors of the seventh. Okay, believe it or not, Susanna, this is actually going to expand your familial connections now and allow you to deepen some of them. Here's Jupiter just arriving in Cancer. I checked all of your other relationship houses. So siblings, cousins, and neighbors. I checked friendships. I checked love. And now I'm checking service. But where there is expansion is going to be right here in the house that deals with family. And this is your family of origin. So it looks like there's going to be a deepening of the bond between you and the people that you came into this world with. Now, I don't know how you feel about them now, but the next connection that's coming in is actually an expansion of a connection that's established in some way. Now, what's interesting about this is I do see that if you've got siblings, cousins, and neighbors, the neighbors part acting or standing in almost as soul family. There is an expansion with them towards the holidays this year. I'm also seeing that with Jupiter connecting to your natal Juno, next year There is going to be a love expansion for you because Juno's part governor of your seventh house of commitment and partnership because she's co-governor of Libra. My bad, Libra. So right now, the initial thing is it looks like your relationships with your existing family members goes through an improvement. Now, thing about Cancer is it brings up all of the feels. So if there have been feelings with family members where it's just been like, we just don't get along, we're not on the same page, I struggle to appreciate who they are, that stuff may come up first so it can get healed, so that forgiveness can happen, so that resolution can occur. And then from there, there's the opportunity to deepen the bond. The other thing that happens when Jupiter moves through Cancer is Cancer governs mothers. You may end up meeting someone who operates a bit like a second mother to you. It could also be that someone reminds you of your mother, and you and that woman build a bond together. It has a lot of signatures of a familial connection for you. That's this year. But once Jupiter heads into Leo, and this is the second half of next year, this is when I see more of the extended family pieces start to come into place. So, and some of the connections with people that you could potentially volunteer with. It could also be a pet. But all of this is laying the foundation, clearing the decks mentally, emotionally, psychically, spiritually, at the soul level for you, so that you can be ready for romantic love to come in and deepen. So I really love this for you. It's almost like you're setting the stage to welcome in a partner, a romantic partner for you. But it's like all of the other relationships need to be in really good standing first. And so that's the way this is sort of looking astrologically. But let's just take a look here for the components when it comes to the tarot. Let's take a look for that. Okay, so, okay, God, bring us into what you want Susanna to know. She's looking for relationships, she's looking for connection, she's looking for those something that's going to allow her to feel embraced by you while she's here in human form. Give us some insight into Susanna's next major love connection. What do you have for her? We know astrologically the blueprint you and her created at this for this moment in time has a lot to do with friendships and family. Show us what's next. What else can you show her? What else do you want her to see? One more card. What do you want her to see? Yeah. Okay. It's very interesting because, this is the Light Seers uh, tarot. I don't know if you're familiar with that deck, but I love this deck. It's so pretty. The artistry is just so well done. Um, okay, yeah. And there we have bottom of the deck, the lovers in reverse. So this combination that I'm seeing here for you, Susanna, it speaks a little bit to, just change in the way that the focus is really going to come into you deepening your relationship with you. Normally, when we see either the Ace of Pentacles or the Ace of Wands, we can count on a new beginning. Pentacles in the third dimension, either financially, but since you asked about love, like in the third dimension, having to do with a love relationship. Ace of Wands also having to do with like a deeper spiritual connection. But since this is not the case, when we saw astrologically, the Nine of Cups really speaks to getting that kind of like heart centered emotional fulfillment within yourself. The Lover's reverse really lets me know that this isn't necessarily a time that romantic love is going to be the operating sort of influence here. This is a period that's going to be more focused on you getting to that inner stability for you, Susanna. Now, what's interesting about this with the Lovers being at the bottom of the deck, again, as we saw in the astrology, Jupiter is going to move, it's going to ascend through those houses, going to go from 4 to 5. 5 is dating, flirtation, and romance. So the Lovers isn't off the table. It's just not yet. It's like queuing up, it's in the queue. And then as you get this deeper personal fulfillment for yourself, where you are feeling like, yeah, I know who I am, I know what I want, I'm feeling fulfilled and enriched for myself, that is when you will find that the energy or the stage is set for the romantic love to come in. So I do see, just based on the astrology alone, this being a multi-year process, but the remainder of 2025 being deeply focused on you coming home. That's that fourth house we were looking at, to you getting that personal fulfillment, feeling like yourself, feeling like you are deeply enriched and fulfilled, feeling really whole and complete in yourself. And then from that place, the vibration and frequency is set for a partner to be attracted, for this lovers to become upright. This isn't a matter of if you'll ever have love. This is truly a matter of when. And the state, you're just literally walking up the stairs to that room in present time. So I love to see that for you, Susanna. It's a really beautiful energy for you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I love that. And next we have Krista K. So, Krista, if you would like to drop your details there in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and read for you next. You see how Susanna and Sheeta did it. So, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and drop your information there. And we're going to come right back. Go. I'm going to check the list and just see where we're at. After Krista, I'm going to do Keely K, then Judy P, then Amanda. And that's all who's on the list right now. If you would like to get on the list, you can. The way to do that is to click that link up above in the pinned comment. Once you click the PayPal link, you send your payment of $44.44 over to Astro or KMA Education Services. It's there on the PayPal. Send your payment of $44.44, and then I'll add you to the list. Sharing screen correctly. Let's just make sure that's set up. Minimize that. I'm going to do a new chart. We're going to start in for Krista K. Thank you, Krista. Okay. Okay, so Krista was born in New York, in Herkimer, on February 1st, 1981, 30 a.m. 2/1/81, 12:30 a.m. Herkimer. Okay, great. Anytime I hear Herkimer, I think about Herkimer diamonds. I wonder if there's any connection. Okay, so we're starting her at 2:43. What is happening in the area of romantic partnerships this year and early next? That's a great question. Let's take a look and see. So your romance sector is, let's move that out of the way, governed by the sign Taurus and the planets Venus. And there's your natal Venus there in Capricorn. Here's your natal Juno, co-ruler, there in Scorpio. This is interesting. So let's just check out the transits to these. One thing that's really going to serve you is Jupiter moving into Cancer. With Jupiter moving into Cancer at this time, making a harmonious aspect to natal Juno, uh, from water to water sign, Cancer to Scorpio, this is going to open up space for, believe it or not, like a second chance with somebody. It could be somebody that you already know, or just a second chance at being married or at love if you've never been married before. Jupiter moving into the ninth house is known as the house of second marriages. And so that particular position for Jupiter, Jupiter expands. Jupiter is also known as the husband of the zodiac. And in the sign of Cancer, it's emotional expansion. It's also familial expansion. There is strong potential here that you could meet someone who is husband material, wife material, like spousal material for you as we move into Jupiter and Cancer this year and early next year. Now, what's fascinating about this for you as well is that this season of Jupiter and Cancer coincides with the movement, at least right now, of Uranus sailing through Uranus and Venus. Here's Venus going to meet up with Uranus, and then from Uranus going to meet up here with Jupiter, all in the next 60 days. So I want you to pay careful attention to 7/7, July 7th, and 8/8, August 8th. Um, 7/7 is when Venus meets up with Uranus, and this is going to be indicative of a period of time of surprise in the sector that deals with love. I'm going to say it's probably going to be something that you like, something that you weren't expecting. And then 8/8, Venus meets up with Jupiter. Again, I'm going to say this is likely a surprise, something you weren't expecting, something that also makes you feel really warm and fuzzy and good. But it's also something you may want to keep close to the vest for a little while as Jupiter remains in your eighth house of secrets and things that are behind the veil for an extended period of time. Well, not truly extended, it's just at least through the fall here in the northern hemisphere. And then right around September, beginning of fall, Jupiter starts to pass through the eighth and into the ninth house. And that's where you really start to see an expansion of your faith, hope, and optimism. You may even feel guided to learn something about love or to go travel for love. And all of that is really going to serve you because it's going to bring you closer either with someone or to meeting someone who is the right person for you. So, all of this year, really good time for love. Into next year, more good times for love. Next year really looks like second chance energy. But this year, it looks like on this side of the year, it looks a lot like potentially meeting someone, like new love. Now, it could be that, there's two people. I want to just bring that into the mix. Uranus can sometimes have that sort of surprise here. But what I'm seeing a bit more of than two people for you is the situation of like you meeting someone either through somebody, like you renewing with someone is what I'll say. Like renewing with somebody who you've known before, or who feels like home to you. It's like, don't I know you? It could be that sense of feeling like maybe we've had a past life together, something like that. All right, so that's what I have on the astro side. I'm now shuffling for the tarot for you. Let's go ahead and bring that into the mix. So Krista wants to know about her love life. What for Krista? What do you want to show her? What do you want to reveal to her? She really is focused on her heart and love. Show her some images, show her some symbols, put it in my mind, put it in my mouth, what you need her to hear and know about her love life. Where are things going when it comes to love? Okay. There's two out. Four of Wands and Three of Wands. And let's get the third. Let's get our final card. Those two came out together. One more card. Sword. Yeah, I'm not surprised she came out given the way the astrology looked. And bottom of the deck, we have Knight of Wands. Okay, so this is speaking to you moving into a period of time that's like really focused on the potential for coming together with someone in a joyful way. Traditionally, the Four of Wands is a card known as marriage, and in this card, we see these two women celebrating outside of what looks like a very celebratorily decorated tent. So I do feel like you've entered into a period of time that is going to be really focused on love for you, and you've definitely been in it with Jupiter having already passed through your seventh house, having passed through majority of your eighth house. These are your love houses. And so with Jupiter heading into the ninth, as I mentioned, I feel like this is going to be the renewal of something with somebody that you potentially already know, that ninth house being second chances. Now, the Three of Wands reverse lets me know that you are in a place where you're just no longer waiting. If there was somebody from your past that you'd like to return, I'm seeing you move into an energy of just deciding for yourself. Um, if that person shows up, they show up, but I'm not going to sit here and wait any longer. I'm leaving waiting energy to move into the energy of having, which I really love for you. And then we see the Queen of Swords at the end there, and she's really kind of guarding the access to your heart with a bit of discernment. And I like to see that for you. She's sitting back in a reflection of repose, or a position of repose and reflection, and just paying attention. She's observing, and I see you bringing some of the observation level of what's being brought into your life. I see you bringing that into the mix. And so instead of necessarily looking and waiting for something to come to you, you're observing what's already here and giving yourself permission to say, okay, based on what's here, here's what I want to participate in, here's what's going to make me happy. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. Here's what doesn't, but I'm going to stay really focused on my joy. I'm going to stay really focused on my fulfillment. I know what I want, and that's a loving relationship. The stars, the blueprint that you and God decided on for this particular period of time in your life, they're on your side and saying, hey, we got you. But if there is any waiting energy going on, you got to step out of that. The waiting has to stop so that you're able to get into a place of having, and utilize your discernment around how you want things to unfold for yourself. Really beautiful energy. Thank you so much, Krista. It's really great to read for you. I'm going to read for Keely now. And Keely, I think you see how the other participants have done it. They put their name, not their name, but their birth details and their question in a single chat. If you're able to do that, that would be great. I'm going to double check just to see if anyone's joined the list. I'm going to show you guys the list for anyone who wants to get on it. As of right now, I just finished with Krista. I'm going to start now with Keely, then there's Judy, and there's Amanda. You would be next if you would like to get on the list. Definitely make your payment now. The way that you do that is through the pinned comment right at the top of the chat. Just make your payment, and I will be able to read for you as soon as I finish reading for Amanda. There's that pinned comment right there on the right side of your screen. Go ahead and click that, jump on the list, and you would be next. So I'm just going to pause sharing. And Judy, you're next. Judy, please your comment. you're cute. And the details. Chat. Thank you, Kylie. I'm glad you like the nail polish. Um, I'm feeling it too. And yes, if you thank you, Kylie, for reminding people to jump on the private list. That is the best way to know about live mini readings in advance. Um, and if you just like want check-ins, and there's more check-ins, more live mini readings that we'll be doing as we go forward. If you would like to be notified about those so that you can like put it in your schedule the day before, jumping on the private list is a great way to do that. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to read for Judy. Okay. Judy, 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 are you here? And if Judy, or no, not Judy, Keely, we're supposed to read for Keely. I'll take either one if you're ready. Okay, Judy, let's go. Had a connection problem. Here we go. All right, so Judy, so Keely, if you would go ahead and paste your, or get your stuff ready to paste so that there's no lag time when it's your turn, because this downtime makes everyone behind you have to wait. So if you would go ahead and get your stuff ready so that when it's your turn, you can just paste it and we can really keep this rolling. That would make it easier, not just for me, but for everyone who's also patiently waiting. Okay. While we're waiting, I'm going to just take a sip of water. How was everyone's Sagittarius full moon? Um, yeah, it was intense but clarifying. Shells and cheese. Shells and cheese, what's your sun sign? I'm curious. Okay, yeah, definitely email me, Kylie. Feel free to share an update via email. Um, but yeah, okay. Who out of the people who are on the list. Kaylee, Judy, Amanda, who is ready? Oh, you're a Cancer. Because I'll take whoever's ready at this point because I don't want to keep everyone waiting. So, who's actually ready? Thank you, Keely. Okay, Keely, thank you. Let's go. We are going to read for Keely now. Born in South Africa. Kylie, can you direct J. Philly to bring her up to speed in the just make sure she is fully here. Thank you, Kylie. She may be behind in the chat. There may be a lag for her. I want her to be able to get. Okay, Keely, do you have a birth time? Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm trusting it's AM since you just put 11:30, 12:25, 1989, 11:30 AM. That's okay. No worries. I see you are a Christmas baby. Okay. Keely's question is I'm starting her at 3 on the dot. I had a long connection that never materialized into anything. Is it time to move on or do we still have potential? Okay, wow. For that, I'm going to have to look psychically because I can sort of see some things around things like that astrologically, but I'm going to need to look psychically and at the tarot. But let's just start with the astrology. One of the things that I can tell you is that with Venus and Mercury and Juno as sort of governors of your seventh house, Mercury governs the gateway, and that is a Virgo gateway for you. Anytime Mercury goes retrograde, and that's 3 times, sometimes 4 times a year, there's potential for that connection to deepen, to go further, for there to be a resurfacing or a return. Now, Venus and Juno only go retrograde every other year. When they go retrograde, there's also potential for that relationship to come back around and return. The interesting thing this year was that they did both go retrograde. Venus went retrograde in Aries and Pisces. Juno is presently retrograde inside of Scorpio. With Juno retrograde in Scorpio, if this relationship was the kind of relationship that was more physical intimacy than it was anything else, that sort of resurfacing could happen at this time. Juno goes direct on July 10th. When she goes direct, and she'll come out of shadow on October 5th, she'll land in the ninth house of faith, hope, optimism, and second chances for you. When she goes direct and then comes out of shadow, there's a lot of potential for this relationship to, if you reconnect physically at this time, for it to go beyond the physical and actually finally grow roots. The timing for that is a lot better now than it probably ever has been. I'm seeing in your chart, after I look through kind of the last, 7.5 years for you, this was a tougher, like, I almost want to say since 2018, you have been in a season of where it's kind of like God has pulled up with you, tugged you by your shirt and said, excuse me, ma'am, let's sit down. Let's you and me have a little talk. I want to grow you. I want to mature you. I want to evolve you. And I want to bring you into greater wholeness. And I see that was about a 7.5 year process that unfolded. And now that Saturn is over here in your first house. That process is complete. There's a new you on the block, if you will, but it's that new you that is prepared to take this next step with this person. Now, additionally, I also see Jupiter is in Cancer now, also preparing to go through your house that deals with family and home. But on the other side of that, and that's next year, Mama, Jupiter gets here into the fifth house of dating, flirtation, and romance for a year, then into the sixth house of things becoming established, someone becoming a part of your day to day routines for a year. Then your seventh house. This is this is romance becoming commitment, and so that's a whole year. Jupiter moving into your relationship sector of the sky is really going to support your capacity to have that thing come back around. But the main thing that Jupiter is going to do this year for you, if you're harboring emotions of frustration, resentment, guilt, shame, anger, blame, um, this that operate in the frequency of you're not really welcome here person that I've had said long-term connection with, you're going to have to work through those feelings from an emotional perspective, get some healing around that and some wholeness and some closure on the last chapter, so that whatever does happen next between you and this person, it's not looking to the person to pay for the mistakes of the past. It's just as you have matured and you're not the same person, and you walking into a brand new thing with them, you don't want them dragging up every single little thing you did and said that might have been immature and really hurt your feelings. Just as they need to seek their own closure with who you used to be, you also need to find your closure with that. Now, it doesn't mean you guys won't have conversations about it, but it does mean that if you're looking for them to answer for every single thing before something can happen, it's very likely you might miss the opportunity for something to happen. Because from a frequency perspective, Kiwi, it can make it very difficult for them to find you or to be brought back into your life if your frequency is you're not really welcome here because the last time you were here, it was nothing but hurt. So just keep that in mind, okay? But yeah, there's absolutely, and I always like to put it this way, listen, as long as there's breath in your body and their body, there's a chance. I never think it's off the table. I mean, you hear about people in their 70s, 80s, and 90s who reconnect with a childhood sweetheart or somebody they knew in their early 20s, you know, and that sort of thing taking off and blossoming into love. So as long as they're here, as long as they haven't, returned, like dropped the body and returned to source, there's a chance. Why not? But Jupiter in Cancer is really going to help provide some of that emotional healing you may need to even be open to that person. Here we go. This is the Santa Muerte deck, and there is the Santa Muerte. She's a little like the Empress, you can see there. Um, we have the Three of Cups, and I love seeing that in reverse in a love reading. And we have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so I'm really seeing some potential here between you and this person, especially if in the past there was some sort of like third party situation where it was like you and them and another person on your side or their side, or it was like you and them, and because of the needs of the children, y'all just could never really get it together, or you and them and one or both of y'all's parents were like, no, this isn't the right relationship for you, don't do that. If that's been the case, at this time, I see there's the opportunity for both of you to start anew. Now, check it here. Santa Muerte, she's always pregnant with possibility, and she really speaks to potential, that there's potential for this to come. Like we see she's pregnant, but we also see the cradle. which lets us know that she's in the place of expecting that this baby is going to come to term. It's not going to be taken for her from her. She can hold the baby and will hold the baby in her arms at some point. And that the baby's going to need a place to sleep once it's outside of her. I love the clarity about how faith works in this particular card because it is so evident that there's a direct connection between what's forming inside of her and the third dimension. And this really speaks to the necessity for you to walk by faith and not by sight if what you want is a reconnection with this person. Then we see the Three of Cups in reverse. And again, I love to see it because if there was a love triangle, you'll have to let us know. It doesn't look like that will be a problem going forward. It looks like the love triangle component of the connection is behind you guys. That will no longer be in the mix. And the Queen of Swords here lets me know that you're going to come into this with some discernment in a way that you may not have had access to the last time you danced with this person. There's, like I said, a lot of maturing that's taken place for you in the last several years concerning love, concerning who you are in love, concerning what relationships look like, concerning what you should expect out of relationships, your mental programming and patterning around relationships. I see you got a lot of cleaning out astrologically in this arena. Now, here we see the Queen of Swords. She's looking out toward the horizon. Person, if you'd like to come in, I'd love to see you, but expect that I'm a different Keely than I was when you last saw me. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles. I love to see this card. Traditionally in the tarot, this speaks to fulfillment and being really happy in the third dimension, physical third dimension fulfillment. And that brings us right back into the faith card here, the Santa Muerte, where she's really speaking about, the fulfillment of everything like coming to pass. When we see roses that are in partial bloom above her, we see other flowers. They look, I don't know what they are, but they're in full bloom below her. And so there is this sort of sense with this the condition of all of these cards, as a man thinketh, so they are, like, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You're going to really need to be in a place where you've put down the past, including any third parties. If you happen to be in a third party now and you're just curious if somebody else is going to come back, this Three of Cups reverse lets us know, yeah, but you're going to have to get somebody else out of the person you want's parking spot for this to manifest. And yeah, it does look like it's 100% possible in the third dimension with the Nine of Pentacles upright. So I love to see it for you. That's great news if that's something you were hoping for. Um, and yeah, I really look forward to you reporting back and letting us know how it goes, how it went, and what unfolded. Good luck, Julie. All right, Judy, if you are ready, I will take you next. Keely, can you let Judy know in the chat that it is her turn? She said, we have a good relationship. We're just in different countries right now. We'll be moving back in August. Okay, so the third party was another country. Yeah, so 100%. It does look like there's an opportunity for that to come back around. I saw a couple payments come in. Thank you again, Healy. Thank you, Judy, for being ready. Really appreciate that. Now we're going to read for Judy. Then we're going to read for Amanda. And that's the list as it stands. But let me just add the new people who've jumped on the list. And thank you all for your patience. Kylie, will you let Amanda know in the chat that she's going to be after Judy and to go ahead and get ready? Okay. So Melinda, you are gonna be after Amanda. Then we have Julia T. Then we have Jessica V. Then we have Trisha M. Okay. So thank you all for jumping in and letting me read for you. It is such an honor and a pleasure. Um, oh my, Trisha. Okay. Trisha, you accidentally added a zero here to your payments. Um, I will be refunding you, sending you, I will be keeping the 44.44, but I will send you a lot back because once we wrap up today, because you sent too much money. Unless you just wanted to tip me, let me know, but otherwise I'll refund you. Um, okay. So that's our list. Um, and Kylie, if Trisha jumps in the chat while I'm reading for somebody else, kind of freaking out that maybe she added a zero and it was a total accident, will you just let her know? Kay's got it. She'll refund you when she's done here today. But if she meant that, bless her. Thank you. God, thank you. I love the abundance. Thank you so much. It's not like I can't put it to use. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to do Judy and Amanda if you would get ready. Let's reshare screen. Jay. Okay, here she is. Beautiful. Thank you, Jay. Canada, Toronto. And let's see, 519. Hey, happy belated birthday. 1963 and 420. Yeah. Okay, let me just make sure I got this. May 1963, 4:20 p.m. Toronto. Okay. Excellent. And we are starting a reading at 3:16. So here's what I have for you. You ask a beautiful question about I'm feeling it's time to pursue my shamanic path in South Africa next year. Is it time to hold off a bit in the hold off a bit in the US? Okay, that's a great question. Let's take a look and see. Um, so if you're in the US, this would be long distance travel for you, which is indicated by let me just get the oracle deck I want to use for you ready. It's right next to me. Here we go. There's not. Oh, there they are. Okay. Kind of get those in my hand so they can get the energy of this read. Your long distance travel and relocation house is governed by the planet Mercury. And so, did I accidentally? I did. Okay, I'll have to sign back into my meeting. Give me a minute. But with Mercury governing this house, I do see some movement coming. I don't know if it's next year though. I see Uranus popping into this house, and I think it'll be closer to 2027. Let me just take a look for you. Display transits new. I want to see 2027. Yeah, right around 2027 is the period of time that I see you making a new home in a brand new country and preparing yourself to, you know, like start a brand new sort of career path as a teacher, as a guide. I see you using a lot of language and communication as well. Um, so there's really, really good stuff here for you as it pertains to that. Just looking to see, the home house is governed by the planet Saturn here. Yeah. And at that time, we will also see Saturn sextile natal Saturn. So I don't see this being a this year thing. I see this being like closer to 2027 thing for you. Um, Let me see what is this year as it pertains to the career path, then, since that's not astrologically now. Doesn't mean you can't go now. It just looks like things open up for you in a bigger way at that period of time if you decide to go now. The other thing that I'm seeing about long distance travel is Mercury. Yeah, I see why you're feeling the calling now. Let me just take a look at the way you're built. Yeah, you have a lot of fixed energy. Anyone who has a significant amount of fixed energy gets ample warning and ample time to make change, because change for the fixed placements is not their strong suit. And so you're getting a lot of ample warning that this is coming, that it's necessary, um, that it's, important, that it's a part of where you're headed. Like, you would be getting a lot of signs about this, so that you're ready now sounds amazing. I'm really proud of you if you are have that much fixed energy and you already feel ready to go, because that's kind of rare for people who have this much fixed energy to be ahead of a transit. Normally I see people with significant fixed energy making change at the tail end of the transit. So if you're ready now, listen, don't let what I'm telling you stop you. Like, if between you and God you feel like now is the time, go. There's something in it for you to learn when it comes to facilitating, laying groundwork and foundation right now if you go now. We do see Jupiter in the space, the house of long distance travel here, and having just jumped into Cancer, which is the sign that governs homes. That sign that governs homes and living is also governing your 10th house of career. And so for Jupiter, the expander, to say, hey, let's make a new home in a different place to expand our career right as Jupiter jumps into Cancer, is as sure a sign as any that any time between now and 2027 is a great time to make this move. I also see people with a lot of fixed energy. The design of their chart also gives them a lot of time. They don't get these like short windows that people with a lot of cardinal energy get. They get these very long 2, 3 year windows to make change within. And I definitely see that for you around this move. So if you want to go now, go now. It just continues to get better and better and better for you through 2027. I wouldn't delay this beyond that period of time. In fact, it does look like there's a little bit of time. Let me just see where we're at when we close this year. I want to see what Saturn's doing with your moon as we close out this year, because that can be a tricky period of time. Let's see the 12th month. Interesting. So Saturn will go back to the 20. Yeah, this year is good. If you want to go on this side of 2026, I will go. I would absolutely go. But let's see what the tarot has to say about it. Um, I accidentally kicked myself out of my Zoom meeting, so let me rejoin it so that I can show you the tarot cards again. Give me one moment. Go. And reset this. There we go. Well, that would be the ceiling. Let me mute myself. There we go. No echoes, please. Let's reverse. There we go. There we go. That is for you. All right, let's get these cards together. I want to see what messages they have for you. All right. May 2026 is still good, Jay Philly. It's a great time for you. Okay, so I'm pulling from, first I'm going to pull from the Intuitive Whispers Oracle. I don't know if you've heard of that. A really good friend of mine gave those to me for Christmas this year. So that card came flying out. What is meant for you will find you. So we've got that oracle card, which I'm going to give you a little bit of insight around it from that deck. And then I'm also going to pull from the Lightworker Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild for you. So let me just cut and shuffle that one more time. There we go. So Jay Philly, what's the message about from you? Okay. And this one is alchemical mutation. So let's get a little intel from both of these. All right. Our alchemical mutation, the Intuitive Whispers card number 31. Okay, what is meant for you will find you. One of the things that stands out to me about this card is that there's a clock on it. And this clock really speaks to divine timing kind of being at play here. And really paying attention to your own intuition and discernment. We see these birds migrating. Whenever birds migrate, birds have an intuitive clock. Nobody tells them it's September, go south. They have an intuitive sense of timing around when to be and where to be and when to leave based on their own intuitive relationship to the weather patterns. And I think some of what's about to unfold for you has a lot to do with that. So this just says there's something wonderful coming for you, and you'll find it when you stop pushing against life and instead surrender to it. Have you ever been rejected from something or by someone only to find out a little later that the reason you didn't get that thing or person was because something or someone even more perfect was just around the corner? That's because what is meant for you will find you. Having a direction and a rough plan can be a good thing, but don't be limited by this. Open yourself up to other possibilities and divert in ways that present themselves to you. Okay. How to allow what is coming in to find you. Create space. Go for a daily walk. Sit for meditation. Take long, relaxing baths. Do any other practices that allow you to relax. You need to carve out the time to see things from a new perspective. Notice what's being drawn to you rather than what you have to battle against, and surrender from the battle and allow yourself to receive. So this combination of things with this card, it's kind of letting you know that South Africa may have been the intended place, and May 2026 may be the intended time. The divine may have another plan. Your higher self may have another plan. So just stay open, especially if the doors to something else open first and the timing feels right, but the place is different than what you originally anticipated. Let's talk about alchemical mutation. This is also card 31. Okay, so also pay attention to the number 31 because it's come out here for you twice. Okay, so let's see, alchemical mutation. Your spiritual growth is changing your mind, body, and soul, and it's very real. It's helping you fulfill all aspects of your divine destiny. It is awakening spiritual talents and attracting new energies, and this process will bring tremendous joy and satisfaction. Message says, and I'm doing a give you some snippets rather than reading the whole thing because it's a bit long. The body changes as light enters. Alchemy is catalyzed and transformation happens. Sometimes the appearance of the body changes. There will be change in how the body feels, responds, acts, and creates. Radiance increases, the lightness of being increases. And if you have clairvoyant vision, you will see the increase in light as though the person is actually lit up from within, and that's because they are. Spiritual abilities become grounded in the body, and the person can channel energy healing or healing energy just as naturally as they would set the dinner table. The spirit becomes a living reality of the body, and the material world is experienced as an extension of the divine light. The alchemy is an empowering gift of love. Symptoms of this process at times can be challenging. Okay, and I'm sure you've heard of ascension symptoms, and it speaks to this a little bit. If you have been experiencing some symptoms in the physical body of the alchemical mutation, it could be a result of increased spiritual energy, and you're encouraged to source whatever professional health support you need to take care of your body. Also, consider using some simple practices to ease side effects like getting regular rest, physical exercise, meditation, continuing your spiritual study. Go in nature, work with colors if you need to, and learning to take time off. Also, working with temperature, like cooling energy, to discharge excess heat as you need to. So, all of that is speaking directly to the fact that this speaks to alchemical change in the body, alchemical mutation here. But I think the totality of change that you're about to experience isn't just your own physical body, as you mentioned, has a lot to do also with your location and position on the earth. And so, one of the things that I think is going to signal to you when it's time to go, I know, like you said, you want to go May 26th. I would loosen your grip on that date and really use the way these birds know when and how to migrate. We also see wings here as well. Use your intuition on timing. I think it's going to be a lot better than trying to get it um, like a perfect date at a perfect time. Secondly, I would also say some of the signals about timing are likely to come through your physical body. So pay attention to when your body says, I'm ready. I'm ready to drop everything that we have here in the third dimension and go to my next location. Okay, that's what I have for you in terms of messages regarding the relocation and the timing of it. Okay. And I'm going to love you and leave you and leave you with love on that. Thank you for letting me look. We're going to go to now Amanda. Amanda, you're next. Then we're going to read from Melinda, Julia T, Jessica B, and Trisha M. I want to thank everyone for their patience. And Trisha, please know that I did see you sent more than the 4444. It looks like you added a 0. So if you need a refund at the end of this, I will absolutely provide that. But know that if you meant to just be a blessing to me, I will absolutely, with an open heart, receive that. It means a lot to me. Thank you. We're going to go ahead. Just let me know, Trisha, okay? Drop me an email and let me know. So we're going to go ahead and do Amanda now. And let's see. Right. Amanda, thank you so much for being ready. I am excited to read for you. Fredericksburg. Okay. And 6-5. Hey, happy belated birthday. Love that for you. And thanks for letting me celebrate by reading for you. 6:52 p.m. Beautiful. Hey, it's 3:33, y'all. This is where I live. Let me share screen correctly. There we go. Glad that was helpful and insightful, Jay Philly. Yeah, that calling sickness, you can have that sort of crisis, a physical crisis when the body is ready at the DNA and cellular level to discharge all of what has been anchoring you in the third dimension so it can go to a new location, especially when you have a lot of earth energy, which I saw you do, and a lot of fixed energy, which I saw you do. Like that's just the body discharging its roots in this dimension. And it feels like that to us. Imagine what it feels like to plants when we uproot them and put them somewhere else. So hang in there, but also again, use that intuition in terms of timing. We're going to start Amanda's reading at 3:34. Amanda asks, what energies or transits are shaping my next major transition or move? The optimal question for your astrology reading. Sorry, the part after my question should be there. It was copy and pasted from my notes. Okay, no problem. All right. Let's take a look and see, Amanda, what these transits and the cards want to say about major transitions in your life. Um, Okay, so the major change agents are always in a chart Pluto, Saturn on the move, and Uranus on the move. And the major change locations in a chart are always the ascendant and descendant, and the midheaven and the nadir down there, like that. When I look at your chart for those locations and the planetary placements, the biggest thing I'm seeing going on has been it has a lot to do with love, Amanda. I'm seeing Uranus has just stepped into your seventh house of commitment and partnership. And Uranus is the divine change maker. When Uranus is on the move, Uranus is sort of acts as almost like the hand of God, sweeping through our lives and forcing quantum level change, meaning it's non-linear, it's steps, it doesn't look rational or, sort of, like I said, linear to our mind because it's happening through God mind. It's happening through the construct of divinity. And so when a Uranian ignition happens to one of our houses, and in this case, it's your love, commitment, romantic bond, and partnership house, we take a giant step forward inside of that house. And so, with Uranus having just arrived this year in your seventh house of committed partnership, I see it was retrograding back and forth between the seventh and the sixth last year. This is going to help your love life go to the next level. But the initial experience of the divinity and the God energy, it can almost be a bit chaotic. I want to warn you of this because Uranian energy, it can almost be separative at times before it's unifying. It moves like electricity. We know with lightning, for example, the sound of light and the visual of light, they come at separate times. This is why we even have separate names for them, thunder and lightning, even though it's the same phenomenon occurring simultaneously, light and sound don't travel at the same speed. And so you may have this sort of experience of your love life imploding as you let in a whole bunch of light. And this is all happening right behind your sun. So the downloads, the intuition, the synchronicities and the signs, they're probably on like level 100 right now for you when it comes to love and where you're meant to be and what it is that who and what you're attracting in love and what you need to be doing in order to up level your love life, Amanda. You may have some very, very potent signs in the third dimension, since this is Uranus and Taurus, that are helping you sort of navigate you to right place, right time, right person, right people. And as Uranus steps into Gemini next month, this you may feel a little cray cray. Just want to prepare you for that. Uranus preparing to pass over your sun. I remember when it passed over my sun. I don't think it's going to be this intense for you, but I was on the floor in the closet crying because I was like the only place I could feel safe. Like I needed a small enclosed space because it was just like so much light coming through me all at one time. Okay. And so this is the prelude to a completely new you. And this new you is going to attract love at a much different level and in a very different way than you've ever attracted love before. The quality, the caliber of person who's going to be drawn to you and that you are going to be drawn to, night and day different. You may even find you're drawn to people of a different culture, nationality, background, religious background, family background. Like you're into tarot and astrology, and they could be hardcore, religion, whatever religion they are, right? But the two of you, for whatever reason, you just make sense. Uranus also speaks to the different, the unique, the non traditional. And so, if there are habits, patterns, and behaviors that you have operated within when it comes to love, these are about to break down for you. And this is the major change. It's basically a whole upsetting of the apple cart, a turning around completely of what it is that your love life has held for you. If you've been perpetually single, prepare to be engaged and married. If you've been engaged and married, prepare for, I don't know, like an open relationship, something that just doesn't necessarily make sense. It doesn't have to be any of these things. I'm just giving examples of the nature of dramatic change that Uranus brings to the table. Interesting. Okay. So I'm shuffling from the Prisma Visions deck, which I love. It's a really beautiful deck that operates in triptych. I strongly recommend it for anyone because the drawings are just exquisite. And when you lay out a single suit in order, um, it tells a visual story of a journey that's been taken. So, shuffling for Amanda. Next major change coming into her life. She asked generally, I looked at the astrology god. What do you want her to know? What do you want her to see? There's too many. I just need two more cards, please. Shuffling for Amanda. What do you want her to know? Okay, just like Uranus, I'm getting the prompt to add a whole different deck for you. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm shuffling from my standard Rider-Waite. I think Cat does live in the trees, to be honest with you, Kylie. I agree with that. Um, the two cards for Amanda, please, for next major change. Yeah. Okay. Four of Wands reverse. Yeah, something's about to shift big time for you. Something you didn't see coming. One more card for Amanda, please. Whew. Wow. The fact that they all came in reverse, too. Okay. So, first card out was the Six of Wands reversed. And to me, this speaks to sort of a uh, releasing of plans and expectations in this deck. Like there may have been a direction you were planning to go in where it had to do with like, um, since we were talking about love, it's interesting. The Four of Wands came out reversed and the Strength came out reversed. Just so you see, bottom of the deck is the Eight of Cups reversed. This is the whole combination here is giving some intel about the need to focus in on releasing fixed ideas, fixed boundaries, fixed stories about not just other people, but also about yourself. Um, like the way you thought things might have gone, I see here they're probably not going to go that way, but in order for them to go the way that they can go to maximize change in your love life, you're going to need to let your guard down a little bit with Strength and reversed. Not only that, but this speaks to like where you have resolute ideas. It'll never be this way. I'll never date that person. They'll always be like this. We'll always be in that position. This is talking about letting go of some of those fixed ideas and plans. In a spread like this, when I see like the Four of Wands reversed, this is letting me know that there may have been a fixed idea, especially with the Six of Wands reversed as well. You may have had a fixed idea of the way things were going to go with a certain person. And what this is telling me is that it may go other than that particular way, and that's not going to be a bad thing. I don't see this person leaving your life, especially not with bottom of the deck. We saw the Eight of Cups. In fact, I see this person's probably still going to be very present, 2 cups behind. But in order for things to change in the way that's really going to up level you, you're going to have to let go of observing what was lost, let go of observing the way you think it's supposed to be, and then open yourself up to sort of like the hand of the divine really giving you opportunities for things to go in a brand new way. Now, if I were to interpret all of this literally, it would say to me something like somebody you know is going to come back, Six of Wands reversed. They're going, if they were married before, they're going to come back single now. But you are going to have to not be stubborn upon their return. You are going to have to really be willing to be open and just let things unfold and really sort of tame some of your own sort of inner issues around this person when it comes to maybe ways they hurt you in the past, since this was the bottom of the deck, and really focus on what is right now. Okay. Additionally, what I also see here is you may be returning to an earlier stage of life that was a lot more carefree and a lot less committed. Uranus is the planet of freedom. And so returning to the stage of life where you are free, you're free to love who you want, be where you want, how you want in your relationships. This is really speaking to some of that freedom showing up and releasing some of the bondage of being caught up in things like labels, being caught up in like supposed to do, supposed to be. Those my air quote fingernails right there. But you get the idea. That's what this is all talking about. Change is really coming, and it's big change. Your intuition steered you right on that. It's going to be something you did not expect, but it's also going to be something that if you really let the divine have the divine's way, I do think it's going to be something that's going to be a huge blessing for you as you allow it to unfold. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Amanda. I think you're going to enjoy it, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be good change. So don't be shy. Don't be scared. Step right up. Enjoy the changes. And yeah, thank you, Amanda. We're going to go ahead and read from Melinda now. Melinda, if you would go ahead and paste your question and your details there in the chat, that would be amazing. Gonna do your reading next after Melinda. As you can see, it's Julia T, then Jessica B, then Trisha M. In that order. And Trisha, just know that I did see you added an extra 0 there to your payment, so I will be refunding you, assuming that was unintentional. Now, if it was an intentional, I will thank you to the cows come home. Really appreciate you, my love. Okay. Linda wants to know if it's time to leave the nursing. That's a great question. Let's take a look. Share screen. Melinda was born in Erie, Pennsylvania. Shout out to the swinging states. Oh, it's 10, 19. Big Libra energy in the house. 6, 33. Oops, wait. 1986. 6:33 p.m. Let's just double check. 1986, 3 p.m. Erie. Okay, got it. Okay, we are starting Melinda at 3:49. Okay. So Melinda wants to know if nursing is at an end. Career sector is governed by Saturn. Saturn's at the 7th degree of Sagittarius. It's coming to that, yeah. It is absolutely coming to that. And there's a few different indicators. It's not a now thing, but it is a few years thing. Let me just see how you're built. Are you built with a lot of fixed energy? No, balanced, fixed, and cardinal, but you've been given a lot of time to transition out of this. Because you may need to go get education from somewhere else. Let me just see what's the rest. I'm in separation on my twin flame journey and was recently fired from my nursing job. I'm not sure what my next steps in career and love are. Am I done with nursing? Okay, so I'm going to focus on just one. And if you want me to take a look at the love stuff, I can, but I'm going to just focus on the career stuff. What I'm seeing here for you with a few different things, I definitely see that being released from this job may have felt like it maybe came somewhat of a surprise. I don't see it was a huge surprise, but the financial change with it, I feel like that part is shocking. Like, oh, okay. And yes, because Saturn here in your natal chart is the ruler of your career sector here, there is Uranus is about to come and speak to natal Saturn soon. I actually see you moving into not necessarily not nursing, but moving into like a different type of nursing. And I see it being actually like if you're not already doing like end of life care sort of stuff, I see you moving in that direction. Right around the time we get here, like 2027, late 2026, 2028, like that period of time. And let me actually pull us into uh, the third month of 2027. Yeah. Yeah, because you're going to start to feel that as early as next year, even in 2026, into the fourth month. I want to see how far direct Uranus is going to go. How much action is Uranus going to give your natal Saturn? Yeah, you're going to start to feel it as early as June of next year, 2026. But yeah, because Uranus, the divine change maker, is about to give your natal Saturn a lot of action in terms of sudden divine changes that come out of the blue, opportunities that come out of nowhere. I see there's a new way for you to make money. You are a hospice nurse. Okay, yeah, because it's definitely here in your chart. I see you finding a new way to make money. And to be honest with you, it might be overseas. Because your Saturn sits in the sign that deals with overseas travel. You may actually make a decision to potentially, especially as this Uranus gets further and further toward the 10-degree mark, he will square your natal Jupiter. Jupiter's the governor of your house of long distance travel. I see you starting to consider like, okay, I'm ready to do my work, but do my work in a very different way than the way I've been allowed to do it where I presently live. I see you getting to a place where you're starting to consider how can I do what I do either on the road or in a completely different country altogether? Um, so yeah, it, I don't see you being done with nursing, but I see you taking a giant step forward with it in terms of potentially a relocation and potential or traveling with it and up leveling some of your skills with it. Like I see you either getting the other potential here is like some sort of degree, some sort of certification that allows you to do what you do in an up leveled way, like to make more money in an up leveled way. So I really like this for you, Melinda. Like I said, I don't think you're done with nursing, but I think you're about to refine what you do and how you do it. You may even decide, given some of these placements here, to move beyond like public sector nursing in this way and like sort of like being a private hospice nurse, like, in home for people who can afford that, or like a travel nurse companion for, wealthy people who, just want to travel, but they need a nurse to go with them, that sort of thing. Like, I see you may take that sort of role on where, you can there's movement in the next level around location. Okay. So I like this for you. Like I said, I don't think you're done with it. Either you up level in education or you start traveling with it, travel someplace else with it. But let's just see, what the divine wants to add by way of these cards for you in terms of the work. Um, it may have been time for a little bit of a break. I'm going to be honest. Like, you may be in a place where you're like, ugh, because the work can, at times, it can get heavy, as I'm sure you know. But let's see. And for you, I'm going to pull from the intuitive whispers. And again, I will use the light worker deck. Just cut and flip again. How are you guys liking having? Yeah, exactly, Melinda. That's what I'm seeing. Nursing without that sort of structure. Let's see for Melinda. God, what do you want her to know? What do you want her to see? What do you want her to hear? Place it in my mouth and show it to her through the visual. What is it that's for Melinda at this time? Okay, so we have a card of intuitive journaling here that has shown up. I'll take a look at that. That's card number 25. And just the Lightworker Oracle deck. What do you want her to see? What do you want her to know? What do you want her to hear about her journey as a hospice nurse? That came out real quick. Okay, card number 6, fourth ray of harmony. Okay. So, intuitive journaling. Let's just pull this back to the front so you can see it. That's this card. This card is inviting you to switch off from your rational conscious mind and explore your intuitive subconscious, a place that exists beyond thought and that can be accessed in moments of silence where there's no judgment, no expectation, and where you are present in the moment rather than distracted by the past or the future. Intuitive journaling is not striving to make sense of what is written or to be understood, but simply exploring with curiosity what the intuition wants to say. I'm not surprised this one came out. What's interesting about this one is that when I look at this for you and I consider your chart, that whole like Sagittarius energy, which is where the governor of your 10th house sits. Sagittarius is the sign of writing. And so this is letting you know that through writing in some capacity, you are going to find like what's the right answer for me when it comes to uh my relationship to the nursing. My hawk just showed up as I'm sitting out here listening to you. Perfect. Hawks are a great sign of intuition and like knowing. Okay, so this recommends close your eyes and focus inward on your breath. Take 10 deep breaths, inhaling to the count of 4 and exhaling to a count of 6. Now, I've been doing a lot of that lately. By lengthening your exhale, you're allowing the body to calm. Continue to focus on the breath until you feel your mind and the body soften. Open your eyes and put your pen straight on the page in front of you. Begin to write without taking your pen off the page. Start with the prompt my intuition wants to say. Let your intuitive subconscious guide the way. I also used to do a lot of non dominant handwriting before my clairaudience really turned on. And I definitely recommend that as a strategy. So on the page, I would write my question with my dominant hand, and then I would use my non dominant hand to write whatever was coming forward as the answer. So that can be very helpful as well. But let's see what the fourth ray of harmony wants to add to the conversation. The fourth ray of harmony comes to you now with the qualities of beauty, harmony, and balance. It empowers you to complete a spiritual initiation. Any conflict you experience now serves your divine purpose. It will eventually become the fuel you need to be born anew. Something will be transformed into something negative will be transformed into something positive, and the Archangel Gabriel helps you to receive the blessing of the fourth ray of harmony now. Yeah, this is really speaking to the fact that that particular job, it's the closure of you being at that job is because there's something else that's ready to come forward for you. There's another way to serve, another place on the earth that needs you right now, and God's trying to get you there. Okay. When the fourth ray is active in your life, you're approaching spiritual initiation, which creates a whole new person, a new you. uh, you may wonder if you have what it takes to get through this. An initiation may begin with feeling torn between two choices or realities. You do have what it takes. And as you discover your strength to be patient with the process rather than trying to force an outcome prematurely, eventually you'll outgrow the conflict altogether, emerging as a wiser, more powerful you. You will have gained positive outcome from what was once considered to be a negative situation. So yeah, I think this speaks as well to some of the work you do as a hospice nurse, giving people permission and access and ease to transition out of the body and toward the light, and toward just their next place in the arena of or in the realm of the spirit. So I see you already do this work, but this work is about to be done for you by God, taking you into the next step in your life. So this is really asking you to trust that the change that unfolded had a divine purpose to it, that it wasn't an accident, and that it's part of like you will in the fullness of time be able to look back and say, if they hadn't fired me at that time, X, Y, and Z wouldn't have happened that I really loved, needed, and wanted. And so this is, it's just a step, not the end, is what I'm hearing here for you. Okay. So that's what I have there. Thank you so much, Melinda, for allowing me to read for you. Now we're going to do Julia T. And here's the list. I have Julia T, then Jessica B, and then Trisha M in that order. So get yourselves ready. Julia, it is your turn. I look forward to being able to read for you. You'll have to let me know how that resonates for you, Melinda. Hey, we're going to go ahead and read for Julia. Now, let me take a sip of water. All right, Julia, thank you so much for being ready. Born in Mexico City, Mexico. Thank you so much. Have you all wished your dads a happy Father's Day? Have you reached out to them? Hopefully you have, or kept them in remembrance. Now, Julia, I see you were born in Mexico City. I don't know where you live now, but just make sure you confirm for me that this is the month and this is the day. So August 7th, 1984. Okay. 6:25 a.m. Yeah, absolutely. Melinda, if you want to do a love or twin flame question, just send another 4444 and we'll do that. Okay. Awesome. Okay, thank you for confirming. Let me bring Julia's chart back. Okay. Julia's reading is going to get back in the chat. Julia's reading is going to start at 4:05. All right. So, get back to this question. Just get my page to refresh. Okay, so Julia wants to know. Oh, it says my internet connection is unstable. Okay. You live in Newport Beach, Cali. Okay, perfect. What do I have forward to in career, finances, and love when Jupiter is in Leo next year? Okay. Interesting. I can kind of look at one of those. Um, Career, finances, and love are very separate questions and they're distinct areas in the chart wheel. Which one is most important to you, Julia? Career, finances, love? What matters most? Okay, perfect. So we'll take a look at career. Okay. Um, and welcome. It's Yanni. Great to have you here. Flower or Kylie will tell you how it works while I read for Julia. Julia, your reading starts at 4:07. Manny, as far as I know, has not paid, so you may need to fill them in. What matters most to me is love, but what I'm concerned with most right now is career. Okay, I gotcha. Well, so Jupiter enters Leo next year, mid-year. So you see I'm all the way out at July 15th as a rough estimate, and we see Jupiter there in Leo next year. Jupiter is in Leo, and in the early degrees of Leo, we get aspects to, let me just see who Jupiter's on natal Uranus, which is the governor of your seventh house. So we'll do love then. And if you want to look at career and finances, you can absolutely do another reading, but we'll go and do love first, since that's the most direct aspect to anything in your chart that Jupiter is going to make. So, Jupiter brings abundance, expansion, growth, and opportunity. And in making an aspect to both your natal Saturn and your natal Uranus as Jupiter goes into Leo middle of next year. Again, that's where we are. It's going to create some growth in your love, partnership, and romance house here with Jupiter and your Jupiter communicating with Saturn in this way. First of all, in a square with Saturn, this can be an aspect of tension and match that brings maturity and personal growth and development. In this aspect of tension, you may feel a little bit like anytime I see Jupiter square Saturn, I get the vibe of, I never get what I want. It's that kind of like, young child pout sort of energy before the child really starts to understand. Not to call you a child, but it's just we all get Jupiter square Saturn at different points. But it's the energy of feeling frustrated before you recognize, in order for me to get what I want, I do actually have to change. I have to mature. I have to grow. I can't keep doing what I've always done, expecting to get something completely different. And so I'm definitely seeing here Jupiter square Saturn for you. Thank you, Kylie. Is facilitating this growth where, in order for you to get what you want in love, the growth for you is going to be here in the arena of subconscious mind. There's some expansion of intuition that will take place on this side of 2026. So, starting this summer, going all the way into next year, a lot of intuitive growth is going to happen for you. Learning to trust your intuition, learning to lean into your intuition, not just use your head when it comes to love, but to also be guided by your heart, but also learning how to not let your heart get stuck, not let your heart, especially when it's been hurt before. Because I'm seeing some of that here. This is really giving you the opportunity to heal some of the old pains, the old hurts when it comes to what you have experienced in the past, so that you can be free to experience love in a new way next year. Now, as Jupiter then passes, or in the same at the same time, there's maturing, Jupiter square Saturn. There's then liberation, and not just liberation, but also love coming in. Jupiter trine Uranus. As it trines your natal Uranus, and Uranus being the modern day ruler of your seventh house, this is what's going to bring in opportunities for love for you following your own intuition. Some of the best pieces about this is going to be you getting liberated from some of the stories of your family, the stories of your childhood, the stories of your past, even when it comes to who you are in love, what you can have in love, and what you're capable of in love. You're capable of so much more and having so much more in love than you've probably given yourself credit for, and more than your love life has even revealed to you at this point. There's so much more to unfold for you, and I think you're really going to see a lot of it next year. Much of it is going to come through cleaning out those psychological closets so that there's space to start from a clean slate. And simultaneously, you're going to also get a lot coming in from your intuition, and trusting that if you follow your intuition, not just your head, you're going to get the opportunity to either reconcile with someone, because I see right around that same time that Jupiter trines your natal Uranus, I see Juno retrograde. It's always somebody coming back from the past when she's in one of the relationship houses, and she will be. So you'll either get the opportunity to reconcile with someone, or you'll get the opportunity to meet somebody new who gives you like a second chance at love. That's something that you may not, that's something that you thought would work out before. Like, oh, I always wanted somebody like this, and the last time I met somebody like this, it didn't work out. You'll be finding that it does work out this time with the person that shows up right around that time. Okay, so thank you, Julia. That's the astrology component. Let's now take a look at the tarot component. Okay. Shuffling for Julia now. Shuffling for Julia. What is it that Julia needs to know, needs to see? Thank you, Kylie, again for directing traffic so I could stay focused on Julia. I really appreciate that. Julia. Okay. First out, the Magician. Let's take a look at what's coming next. What other cards want to be in communication? What does Julia need to know about Jupiter inside of Leo in her love life? Jupiter and Leo for her love life. One more card for Julia. That is a whole party of cards. Just try that again. Jupiter and Leo for Julia. Just one card, please. God, show her an image or a picture that's going to help her understand where you're guiding her, what you can find to reveal to her in love. Julia, your image that's going to speak to her heart. Yeah, this deck doesn't want to talk anymore. Let me see. Get a prompt to add from another deck. So let me grab that deck. Here we go. Now we got a talking deck. Okay, this one for Julia. Ta-da! All right, this one came out with its own clarifier. Page of Pentacles and Eight of Wands. Okay. Yeah, really interesting. Well, Julia. Wow. Yeah, okay. Bottom of the deck. This Three of Cups reversed again. So you have Three of Cups reversed that came out in your spread, and the bottom of the second deck, here it is. If there's been somebody you've been dealing with and there's like a love triangle attached to that situation, I do see that by about 2026, that person and you have the opportunity for a second chance. And it looks that like it comes through as a function of like almost you trying to manifest it with the Magician upright. And then what's interesting is this person's going to come out. The connection comes through in a Page of Pentacles sort of way. There's communication. I'm seeing text messages. It's fun. It's lighthearted. It doesn't seem like much as it begins. Especially when I see the Page of Pentacles. Like all of the pages indicate like a minimum of something. And Page of Pentacles deals with third dimensional connection. Third dimensional connection that's at a minimum is like being friends. And so it looks like whatever it is with you and that person that like I said, I saw it there in your chart. I'm seeing it here as well. It looks like there was a love triangle that's done by 2026, whether you get rid of the person you're dealing with, they get rid of the person they're dealing with, or both. That's done. And then you and this person are able to start a friendship. But the interesting thing about the friendship is you asked about love. So this lets me know it's going to come in looking like not much. But that is the beginning, the Magician, to everything else that you want. The fact that it starts small and it goes from there. Okay. So yeah, this is really interesting. Really, really, really interesting sort of energy there for you. I like this for you. This is beautiful. I think you're going to enjoy that when Jupiter goes into Leo. Like I said, there's also some maturing going on. And so I'm not sure exactly what that is. It could be forgiveness. It definitely looked like there's something to do with your psychology and maybe even letting go of the past that this has to do with. So get ready for that, because this cleaning out and growing of Julia is what's going to set the stage for you and this person to have a clean slate as we get closer to Jupiter and Leo. Okay. Really good stuff, Julia. Thank you for letting me read for you. We are going to now go to Jessica B. Thank you for your patience, Jessica B. I really love to read for you. And after Jessica B, Trisha M. Again, Kylie, if Trisha M shows up and sort of melts down because she put an extra zero on her request for a reading, then let her know, like, hey, it's gonna refund you. Just wait till the live is over. But hey, if she meant it as a donation, then I will receive it with an open, happy heart and a grateful heart as well. Okay, so just checking to see if anyone else joining the list. Just so you know, the list is open, and I'm going to read for Jessica B. Then I'm going to read for Trisha M. Okay, in that order. You should be able to see this. Yeah, Jessica B. Then Trisha M. And if you'd like to get on the list, you can. Melinda has jumped back on the list. So we'll add another question for Melinda. Thank you, Melinda. Oh, no. Jess B, thank you for being ready. Yes, happy birthday. I agree. I really love this for you as well, Jessica Cynthia. If you want to know about work stuff, just like Melinda just did, you can get back on the list, and I'm happy to take a look at it for you. Okay. It's not very long, Kylie, not very long at all. Let's see, just be Quebec City, Canada. You know why you don't want to play. Okay, now you want to play. 619, yay! Happy upcoming birthday! 2 p.m. Okay, got it. Turning 38. It's a good age. Really good age. Okay. All right. So after Jessica B, we'll do Trisha M. Trisha M, are you here? Kylie, can you type to Trisha M? Just let her know she's going to be next. Okay. So let's go ahead and start 422 for Jess B. She asks, what patterns can you see that might be affecting my love relationships, especially at present time? All right, let's see. I mean, I don't necessarily see well, okay. Big thing, which I think you probably already know and caught a whiff of. Here's Saturn in Aries, Neptune with it. These two were their whatever house they're in for all of us collectively. They are facilitating a level of maturing and washing away of any immature behaviors and patterns that we used to have, ways we used to live, ways we used to think. Now, what's interesting about this for you is that Saturn governs your fourth and fifth house. This is family home and your roots and where you came from. And this right here is children and your creative works, processes, and manifestations. This is letting me know that when it comes to love and relationships, some of your old patterns pertaining to family and home may really start to show up in the world of relationships. So, this is legacy inheritances from your parents and their marriage or marriages, how they handled love, the way they treated marriage, the way they treated relationship and communication and interpersonal dynamics in relationship and love. This is you getting to a place where you're learning how to put down and separate yourself from the things that they passed on to you, or you may have just kind of inherited by virtue of being around them. Releasing those things so that you're able to be in relationship in an authentic and real way with Saturn in Aries. Aries is the sign of the individual, and it's the sign of our authenticity, our individuality. And so, what may happen is at present time, some of your family stuff may show up first, only for you to go, wait a minute, this isn't me. This is my dad's programming. Wait a minute, this isn't me. This is the way my mom handled separations. Wait a minute, this isn't me. This is my dad's passive aggressive behavior. This is my mom's, checking out or being aloof when she's hurt, these sort of things. You may find that the thing shows itself so that you can heal it. It comes up so it can come out, this sort of thing at this time. But it's going to be easier than ever to release what's not yours and see what's theirs and let them solve for their own marital and relationship and love patterns on their own. Now, if one or both parents isn't alive, this may be legacy stuff, right? Like being able to really see the family history and the family patterns and say, thank you, no, thank you. I want to move in this direction for me and my sovereignty. Now, in the arena of creativity and children, I'm also seeing here several things. Number one, if you have felt your whole life like, okay, I really, really, really want to be a mom, I want to have kids, this is where you may find the commitment to that, whether you're partnered or not. Truly step up and you're like, I don't care, I'll be mama and I'll be daddy. Go figure, we're reading this on Father's Day. You may decide, like, now's the time. I don't really care who, like, if there's a partner, I'm ready. I'm ready now, and I'm going to do it now. Um, Alternatively, you already have a child, and that child is you've got issues with the other parent. This is where you may detach from the issues with the other parent for the sake of the child. So if there's been constant bickering and back and forth, you may decide, you know what, I'm just not dealing with any of this because I want to be the best and healthiest version of me for our child. All of this back and forth that we have been doing, this isn't serving me. It matters to me that I can operate in a high functioning way and show my child a version of a parent that's mature. So I'm going to cut off, I'm going to detach from all the petty things all the bait you used to throw out there for me, baby daddy, baby mama. I'm going to detach from that and really focus in on just being a healthy version of myself, getting in a healthy relationship so that my child could see an example of what healthy partnership looks like. Now, if no children are involved, this is where I see you being in a place where you're like, I'm ready to manifest love, and I'm going to manifest it by being uniquely and authentically and unapologetically myself in every way possible. All of my crazy, all of my weird, all of my kooky, all of my unusual, all of my masculine, all of my feminine, all of my fun, all of my flirty, all of my sadness, all of my joy. I'm going to bring it all to the table. And the person who is attracted to all of me gets to have all of me. And I see you really becoming magnetic through a lot of your authenticity. Okay. So you'll have to let me know like how that resonates with the experiences you're starting to have and have been having, Jess V. Because that's what's showing up as the next big journey for you when it comes to patterns affecting your love relationships at present time. Okay, so let me bring the cards into the conversation. Okay. Patterns impacting Jess B in her love relationships. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that Eight of Swords in this deck is a huge, especially in reverse, is a wonderful pattern breaker card to get. Okay. And Cups. Patterns is just be overcoming. What does she need to overcome? Yeah. Interesting. Okay, there's a few messages coming through here for you. Ooh, I love this. You're going to love the bottom of the deck card. Releasing habituated heartbreak. I love that. And heartache and the drama and the trauma of people who just don't work for you. So many messages coming through. Eight of Swords reversed, like you're freer than you give yourself credit for when it comes to your love life with this combination right here. This is telling me that you are one of the things that may have been a problem is connecting with people who are just younger than you. The Queen of Swords came, or the Queen of Cups came out, and then right after her, the Knight of Wands. Queens need to deal with kings, not knights. And so if there has been a knight that has been all about their fun, their play, their joy, one day I'm here, one day I'm not, and you've been in this place of deep up level, like trying to figure it out using your intuition, growing spiritually through heartbreak. This Eight of Swords is telling you, because it's in reverse, don't overthink what's happening with the knight. Just don't do it. It's not going to work for you. Here with this one, we have this beautiful energy of recognizing some of the things that you felt trapped by, whether it's the label, quote unquote, twin flame, or the idea of divine counterpartship, even, or the like heartbreak of the past. Some of the pain and the anxiety of not knowing can be released by simply trusting your intuition here. You actually do know what you need to know about the situation. And by operating in trust that you have the intuitive information that you need to know for this stage of wherever you're at in the journey, it elevates the entire situation by getting you out of the self-created trap. Okay? So really, really good stuff for you there, Just B. I love to see it. I also really want to encourage you as I'm looking at this. The other interpretation that's coming through is where there has been spiritual bypass in your love life, like trying to use intuition too much, but not interacting with play and fun and your joy and the things that light you up in the third dimension. This is telling you you really need to get back to that. The things that make you feel alive, these are the things you need to start to focus on in order to move forward in your love life and really have like a practice, a discipline at it, a focus on it. Get focused on the things that make you feel alive, okay? And that's also going to help you release some of this old heartbreak that's already moving out, and also going to help you with this anxiety that can be self created. One of the best releases for anxiety is play. Like just taking your mind off of it for a little while. Don't focus on it. Focus on something that's fun, that's rejuvenating for you. That's going to help you start to end the patterning of feeling stuck, of feeling, why isn't it happening, of feeling trapped in something, which is, that's the pattern that's ready to close out for you. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Jess. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. What's it could be? Thank you. And we're going to stop there. Now, Trisha, it is your turn. So let's just see here. Trisha. You're welcome, Just Be. Did that resonate? You'll have to let me know how that landed for you. Just gonna go ahead and double check, see if anyone else has joined the list. If Trisha is not here, then we'll go straight to Melinda. Okay. Okay. I don't see Trisha. So we're gonna go to Melinda. I don't know what happened to Trisha. She like overpaid and then disappeared. Oh, there she is. Okay. Let me know, Trisha, what we're doing with your payment. Let me get your chart set up. Okay. Trisha was born in Jamaica, Kingston, 1979. And the birth time. You want the refund? You got it. As soon as I'm off the live, I'll refund you the difference, Trisha. Okay? Trisha, are you still there? As soon as I'm off the live, I'll refund you the difference. But if you would like a reading, I do need your birth time. If you have it. If you don't have a birth time, it's totally okay. Um, I can still do a great reading for you. I just want to, if you do have a birth time, I want to make sure I've included it. So let me know. Okay, Trisha, please. 6 a.m. Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, Kingston, Georgia, not Jamaica. Okay, Kylie, can you stop chatting for a second? Because Trisha's not being clear. Okay, got it. That's what I thought. Okay. All right, excellent. Okay, so Trisha's reading is starting at 441. Okay, now what did you want to know? Let me scroll back here and find it. What's next for job and career? I work for the government and there have been a lot of rifts. I'll bet there have been. Okay, well, I mean, it's you don't need me to tell you, but the stars have certainly validated Uranus has arrived in the White House. The like chaos maker, the change maker, like the Uranian energy has arrived at the government level. There's some chaos here that does continue to ensue as Uranus progresses into Gemini into next month. Like even more shakeups, like continued shakeups, do seem to continue to show themselves. Even if you still live in Jamaica, I'm seeing that there's still like the rifts they continue. They continue into next year, to be honest with you, because Uranus is going to retrograde back into Taurus and then come back into Gemini next year. So the way that it has been a bit chaotic, I'm going to be honest with you, that continues. Now, that's the bad news. The good news. The good news is that Jupiter is arriving in your house of wish fulfillment here, and as Jupiter arrives in that house of wish fulfillment, it opens up a space for some really good things to show up in your career sector, as Jupiter will be sextile to your natal Mercury, and Mercury is the governor of the career sector of your chart to begin with. So, uh, this looks like, I'm going to be honest, you, Trisha, out of all the people around you, you look like you land on your feet. And I see why this has created turmoil, chaos, confusion personally, because I see this has deeply affected your finances. With Saturn conjunct Moon, Moon is partial governor of Virgo, Virgo is governor of your second house here. I do see that this is financially, you've taken a hit as a function of the dysfunction that has shown up at the government levels for you. Um, this, I want to be clear, it gets better. It gets a lot better the further Saturn gets into Aries. And thankfully, Saturn's not going to retrograde back and forth over. Is it? I don't think it is. Oh God, please don't let it. Let's just double check. I vaguely remember transiting out to this time next year. No, the end of the year. Oh, okay. So Saturn is going to retrograde back and forth on top of your moon. Okay, Trisha, buckle up. This is going to be like the rifts that you rifts are putting what I'm seeing in your chart here. It's rifts are putting it lightly. Um, what I would recommend, given what I'm seeing, because this is a very I see this as a financially difficult time, and it's a difficult time to expect continuity, stability, and predictability in the arena of work for you. The thing that I see going for you, like I said, is Jupiter coming into the 11th and then Pluto arriving here in the 6th. This lets me know that there are going to be some allies, likely some bosses who are going to have your back. And it may not look like they have your back, but they will. There also may be some form of like union starting or coalition starting around taking care of people in your specific position. Um, if that sort of thing does start, your chart is saying that joining it for you is going to be beneficial and protective. So if that thing should show up, do it. Don't be afraid of it. I know it's going to bring up some fears because of the amount of visibility that it could bring up, but it's actually going to serve you in the long run. Secondarily, when it comes to your money, this is a time to be as conservative as you can be and to find some alternative sources of income. Like if you have rental income, if your mortgage is high, but you can rent an apartment for less and you can put somebody in your home temporarily to pay the mortgage note while you pay a cheaper rent, that would actually be like creative solutions are going to really serve you. Saturn here is talking about the need to pay off any debt that you may have acquired as best as you can, and do not rack up new debt at this time. Saturn's trying to help you clear the debt decks. If you've got credit card debt, if you've got taxes you need to get right with, I know you may be thinking with what money, but just trying to find some kind of like reach out to those companies, those groups, even if you don't have money, the financial hardship of what you're going through may actually qualify you for either some sort of for debt relief forgiveness or um extended terms on a loan or lower interest on something, but it's saying don't delay, get on top of any debt, even if you don't know how you're going to pay it. Just communicate with the organizations that hold the debt, because that's going to help you significantly at this period of time get some of the best debt relief or kind of rates. Lastly, I would say I hate to give news sort of like this, but this chaos extends. This isn't kind of over and done with this year. Um, by next year, financially, things do look a hair smoother. At least some of the chaos in the work arena is slightly lessened. But when things start to look truly transformed for you, it's around this time in 2027. Right around this time in 2027 is when I see you starting to feel like the smoke is finally starting to clear. There's some favor that finds you at that time that does bring you the money you need, the position you need, elevation, visibility that you need. But that's like 2 years away. In between now and then, the chart is really talking about two things. Number one, this may be a moment where it's time for a career change. Uranus at the top of the chart. Let me get back into right now. Oops, that's display transits now. Yeah, this Uranus at the top of the chart is telling me it may be time for you to think about a new pathway career wise altogether. Um, I do see that you have some friends and some colleagues that may have made it to safety, like a safe organization that has less shakeups, that has less drama in it. Talk to those friends, those colleagues. I see them here, and I do see they would be willing to either put in a good word for you, or if they're in a hiring position, at least take your application and make sure you get an interview, that sort of thing. But to the best of your ability, be very financially conservative, cut any dead spending that you're doing, because it's going to be a couple years before finances really start to smooth out. If you can minimize spending on home or vehicles, anything you can do to bring your monthly nut significantly lower for now, that's going to help. I know these feel like huge sacrifices that I'm supporting you to make here, but in the fullness of time, you're going to see that they were part of the changes you needed to make anyway to get to an elevated place. This reads a little bit like a slingshot. Like, how sometimes on a slingshot you need to pull back in order to go forward? That's what this looks like. While this chaos is chaosing, it looks like you need to kind of withdraw a little bit. Give yourself some space, give yourself some time, um, and like stand back and lean on your colleagues who've been helpful for you. Let's take a look at what the lighter weight has to say. This is Riff was putting it lightly. Um, very lightly. What I saw looked like mayhem. Thankfully, though, I didn't see like backstabbiness among your colleagues. I didn't see pettiness or passive aggressiveness. I see that was there, but there were entities and elements, if they have not already left, they're about to leave your workplace. But this is the period of time where uh, you've got some people in high places who are looking out for you. Don't be afraid to ask for that favor if you need a favor at this point in time. Okay. Uh, First card out, Knight of Pentacles reverse. Okay. Trisha, show us what Trisha needs to know. Show us what Trisha needs to hear. Give her, God, a visual symbol of what she needs to see, to know where she needs to be. What actions does she need to take in career and finances? Where are you guiding her to? Come through and give her a visual. Help her understand. Okay. Um, a few things I'm seeing here with that Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm seeing it might be time for you to look for another job. Um, this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, when paired with the King of Cups and the Page of Wands, this is sort of telling me that with the Page of Wands, I immediately got the sense, like, first of all, I got two immediate senses here. Number one, there's somebody at your job, a male, who's looking out for you. Do you know who this is? Secondarily, I'm also seeing you need to just start to put your resume out and put feelers out. Just start looking in other places. It may not come to fruition, but you need to at least be in the process. This Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I think somebody's leaving or somebody has left that was sort of like creating a bit of slowness in getting things done. They were like was kind of like blocking your passageway in terms of being effective at your job. I see that person either has left or is about to leave. With the bottom of the deck being this Three of Swords, I know you probably don't want to leave your job, but if you don't leave, I do think that there's going to come a point where, for reasons even though you have this boss looking out for you, the departure is imminent, whether you leave or they invite you to leave. And this is telling me it's your preference not to have to. You can avoid it. But I think for now, just given what I saw in your chart, placing yourself in another location is part of what you're being guided to do. I think you're going to end up having 2 or 3 jobs in a very short period of time as you move through this period of transition that's going to get you to where you're supposed to be. Let me draw you a quick picture, Trisha. This is the way it's looking to me. Like, if this is the job you have, and this is the job that is kind of destined for you over here, we'll call this A, we'll call this B. The situation that you're in right now is going to ask you to go here, 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 then here in order to get there. So you go here, 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 then here to get to here. It's not going to be linear. It's going to be this sort of like zigzaggy sort of process to get to where you want to go. And that's Uranian movement. It doesn't look logical, it doesn't look linear, but it's the safest way and the fastest way to get you to where you're supposed to be. So there's a bit of trust the process that is indicated here. Like I said, I feel like the slowpoke drama person that was a part of that person, if they haven't left, they're about to leave, that's not going to necessarily be what makes your job safe. You actually need to be putting feelers out for something, because this ultimately, yes, you are meant to depart. It's going to be better for you if this departure is on your terms. I don't think your boss wants you to leave. I think your boss is trying to make it safe for you. But ultimately, I think the departure from this particular job is imminent. Like I said, better on your terms than somebody else's. Okay. Um, and that's going to relieve a lot of the financial stagnancy that you've experienced over the last several years. Because I see that there's probably been a level of financial Did I mute myself? And I was talking to myself the whole time. Oh my gosh. Okay, so welcome, Cat Bond. You're on the list. Thank you so much. I am going to go ahead and read for Trisha or Melinda. Thank you, Trisha. Um, yeah, I accidentally muted myself. So, Melinda, it is your turn. I'm going to go ahead and read for you now. And then we will take a question from Kylie and Flower. And then we'll close out after Cat Blonde. Thank you, Melinda. Okay. Italy, Pennsylvania. Oh, all I said when I closed out of lovely Trisha's reading was that getting a new job is, yes, inevitable, and it's better that she do it on her terms than the company's terms. I think her boss will be disappointed by that. I do see there's a man in power who's been looking out for her, trying to keep her employed. And it could be a female, but who holds a soft spot in the heart for Trisha, but also holds power. I was saying that that person is looking out for Trisha, but that ultimately Trisha needs to start looking for a new job. And that it's better if the release of this job is imminent, and it's better that it be on Trisha's terms than it be on the job's terms. And all I was saying with the let me go back to my handy visual here. All I was saying with this visual is that if this is her current job and she needs to get over here to this job, the process is going to be nonlinear. She might go to this job, then this job, then this job, then this job before she eventually lands in that job. And to trust the process, it's going to be nonlinear, but that's the safest, fastest, most expedient route for her to get to where she's meant to go. Okay, now when I'm done with the live, Trisha, I am going to refund you the difference for the payment that you made so that you've only paid for the reading, not all the money you sent. Will you do me a favor, Trisha, and will you um, email me at chrysalismoon@gmail.com? Please email me so that I can send you a screenshot after I've sent you the refund, and that'll also have the refund tracking number on it for you so that you're able to, it takes 2 to 3 days for PayPal to do a refund. But once I've processed it, hopefully it's just the sort of thing where it falls off of your statement and doesn't even process it at all, since I'm going to refund it within hours of you sending it. And all you get charged for is the 44.44. But should the rest of the amount go through, you'll have a screenshot from my side to take to PayPal to say, hey, she's already refunded this. Where is my money if they're being slow about it? Okay. All right, Trisha, that's what I have for you. It does look like it's a bit of a process to get to stability. In the meantime, I would stay exceptionally conservative financially, lower your expenses as best as you can. Do not make any big new purchases, take out big new loans at this time. They look like they will hover and stay, unfortunately. Lastly, your friends and colleagues are going to have the best route to the next safest job position for you. Okay, so colleagues who have left, friends, from your community, your church, your college, your university, whatever, people as friends and colleagues, they may know about a position that you can take on that's going to be safer and more stable than where you're working now for the time being. Okay. All right, that's what I have. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and read from Melinda now. Thank you so much for sending your second question. Let me just make sure I did all this right. 10/19/86, Erie, Pennsylvania, 6:33 p.m. Great. We're starting your reading at 5:04. Not sure what or how to ask, but where am I at on my awakening twin flame journey? What's on my love horizon? Okay, we'll just see what's going on in love for you. Um, Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so with Juno retrograde, I do see you've been invited on a pathway of kind of digging out old patterns, old pain, old heartbreak, old shadow behaviors that haven't served you. Especially, I got to be honest, Melinda, where it is, where sex and intimacy and like heavy feelings, heavy emotions are concerned, like depression or sadness or grief or shame or guilt, or rage. I see you've been on a process of like starting to dig some of this stuff out, Melinda, so that you can be in a better place for deep, soul stirring, powerful bonding that defy fear and logic. And so, if this has felt like a period of time where it's just been heavy or sad, or there have been reproductive issues that have come up concerning your body, this is the right time to kind of excavate and deal with a lot of that sort of stuff with Juno retrograde there in your seventh house. I also see here, I'm already shuffling your cards and they're starting to come out. With Jupiter moving into Cancer, and that's right here. With Jupiter moving into Cancer from the third house of communication, this is letting me know that you may be receiving some sort of communication or feel inspired to reach out and offer some sort of communication to someone who you might consider that sort of strong soulmate, twin flame, divine connection sort of bond. And in communicating with them, it does look like it's very heartfelt, it's very soulful at this time. I would tread lightly. Um, I wouldn't over expect too much because this period of time between now and October, when Juno comes out of the retrograde zone, it's more about reestablishing the bond and the connection, especially if you've been in any sort of separation. This is about getting into a place of like just honesty with yourself, honesty with them, honesty about like how you're feeling and where you're at, so that you and this person can have the connection be in a place of emotional integrity. Sometimes in these sort of connections, we can do a lot of dancing around the truth, whether the truth is, I'm in love with you in an irrevocable way, or the truth is, you've hurt me in a way that I never thought I could be hurt by another person. Whatever the truth is, this is the type of communication that the two of you are meant to. Well, let me put it more specifically. We're looking at your chart. This is your communication house. That's what you're supposed to be doing before we close out this year. Really revealing your heart in some really transparent ways. And I know as a Taurus moon, that's not really always your jam. And as a Scorpio Mercury, like heart on sleeve, heart on table, that's not you. But this is what this period of time is calling for, is to be emotionally transparent and congruent in your interactions with this person. Um, for reasons, Just see, yeah. I do see renewal can come in the years to come, but for reasons right now, this stage of the journey, right now, like where you and I are talking, this month, next month, the following month, between now and December, the growth edge for you is to be as emotionally transparent as possible without blame, right? Like that hurt a lot because of some of my own memories and problems in this area, or that hurt a lot because, like I just felt so open to you, right? Not, that hurt because you're such a dick and awful person and you're so unlovable. Like, no blame, no shaming the other person, but just being transparent. Or if you have something you're ashamed of, like, I'm really embarrassed about the fact that I'm married to someone, but I'm in love with you. And I don't feel secure enough in me to walk away from my marriage without having some sort of guarantee from you. And I know may seem immature, but that's just the truth of where I'm at. That's the level of insecurity I'm walking in today. Just that level of emotional transparency is meant to be laying a foundation for what's to come in your connection with this person over the long haul at this time. Okay. So that's what I'm really seeing. You asked, where am I at in the journey right now? I did pull some cards while I was talking, and here's how they came out. Here's the Magician. So this lets me know that you have been sort of actively walking in faith when it comes to figuring out how you can call this connection out of the ether and into the world of form. There have been active steps that you have been taking to manifest this. And then after the magician, we have the Six of Cups. And in this particular deck, we see this woman. She's kind of walking, almost dancing in a way that's allowing everything in her cups to splash out and spill over. And so this kind of lets me know that the experience of the love that you've had on this journey may have been a little bit overwhelming, unsettling. It's brought you great joy, but it's also like made things very destabilizing for you. It's allowed you to experience very much like a lot of aliveness, while it's also allowed you to come emotionally undone. And so, the act of communicating, as the chart was indicating, is possibly part of what's going to bring you back into sovereignty here. And then we have the Santa Muerte. She's a faith card. She almost is like the Empress in this deck. She's reversed here. And so this lets me know that some of the heavier feelings that you've had about this connection, which are coming up, thank you, Juno, retrograde in Scorpio, some of those heavier feelings, they've really started to come into blockage around your manifestation. Like you got as far as getting pregnant with the manifestation, but you're not going to be able to birth this manifestation until you've dealt with some of these heavier feelings, and really managed releasing those and coming back into some sort of balance. And I want to be clear, I'm not talking about taking it out on the other person or releasing or unleashing your feelings on the other person. I'm talking about really facing those feelings for yourself in a way that allows you to come back into congruence with yourself. And then so that you're manifesting from a really clean place. You're manifesting from a place that isn't trying to spiritually bypass all of your emotions and the deep feelings you've had. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which lets me know that a new beginning it's imminent in this particular connection. And it's not just a new spiritual beginning, it's a new third dimensional beginning, that has all of you whole and intact. but it's going to require really handling some of these deeper emotions and the way they're kind of all over the place with this particular Six of Pentacles card, because emotions being all over the show is starting to create some interference in your manifestation at this point. Okay. And you may not even know your emotions are all over the show. Sometimes I don't even realize it until I've watched a good movie and then like sobbed for 2 hours after. It was like, oh, it was right there below the surface. I just needed something to help me bring it out, right? Because I'm so in control all the other times, this sort of thing. Um, there is a need here to, oh, and that is the end of that. That lets me know it's time to get off live because my phone just died. There is a need here to go deeper in the arena of handling your emotions so that you can be in a place of real power when it comes to your manifestations. Okay. Ooh. Additional message just came through for you, and it's the King of Cups as I was replacing those cards back in the deck. Your person feels a lot for you too. And some of your communication is actually really going to help them get to the bottom of their feelings. It looks like you have a way with words in a way that really opens up truth for that person. Okay. So, really well done. Thank you for letting me read for you. I am now going to read for Kat. Thanks for your patience, Kat. I am going to go ahead and close the list. Unpin that message. After I do Kat, I'm going to do Kylie and Flower. You guys can decide who would like to go first. But Kat, yo, perfect. You were so ready. Thank you. Sometimes those deeper emotions, like I said, you may feel really balanced, but the interesting thing is like I always feel really balanced too, but sometimes it just ends up coming out of me at the times like it was like I'm watching a movie. Why is this coming out of me right now? And there it is, like these deeper emotions needed to come out. So, okay, here we go. So let me know how that resonates for you, Melinda. But that whole reading just really spoke to like loving deeply, loving fiercely, loving out with your whole heart in a way that like broke you open and birthed you into a completely new version of yourself. And you're just coming into balance is all with this newer version of yourself who has this more expanded emotional range. And as you speak to those emotions, it opens up the connection in the fullness of time. Okay. All right. So we're starting Kat's reading at 517. So let's get into it. Kat's question is, let me just make sure I got it, 5/24, 1985, 10:55 p.m. What areas of my life, either with ease or challenge, is the solstice this week highlighting? I love that. Let's get into it. Nobody asked about the solstice. Let's get into it. Oh, I didn't change the year? Oh gosh, I sure didn't. That's another sign I'm ready to be off the internet for a little while. 1985. Okay, perfect. Let's get the transits again. There we go. All right. Solstice this week for you. Well, I think one of the big themes this week heading into next week is we do see the Sun and Jupiter conjunct. This is kind of known as like the luckiest day of the year in many cases. For you, it's in your fifth house of creativity and manifestation, Kat. I really love to see this because this is letting me know that your creativity and manifestation abilities are going to be on like level 10. And so, really working with this in constructively in a way that allows you to use your voice and your emotions, your thought, and your feelings to bring forth a manifestation. Because you see, you've got the Gemini, Cancer, fifth house, thought, and emotions. This is really about bringing those parts of you together in synthesis to birth something that you're ready to have in your life. Fifth house is also dating, flirtation, and romance, Kat. And so this is letting me know that you want to go on a date. It's going to go really well, especially if it includes a short trip or something like hiking or movement, light movement, walking, this sort of thing. And or involves kids or siblings and cousins or neighbors, like a group sort of outing. This sort of thing is going to go a long way to enhance and enrich your love life and your manifestations. Um, Let me just take a look, see what this is aspecting. We've got aspects to your natal Venus, which is your faith, education, and travel house, and home. I don't know if you're looking for a new home, but I see the potential to have one is here, but also to make your home like a sacred space for your creations. First of all, utilizing this period of time to release anything in your home that's part of old chapter, old you. But then from there, bringing in things and sprucing up things that you want to have from a frequency perspective, call in new chapter, new you, especially as it comes to love, right? I see you mentioned something there in the chat about that because Jupiter is transiting through your love houses, Kat. And so this is letting me know that as Jupiter transits through these love houses, and this is the beginning of that transit over the next several years, there is somebody coming in for you, and the frequency in your home is part of what's going to allow that to materialize into the third dimension. Okay. This energy is also going to be square to your natal Juno, which is, higher octave of Venus. And again, that speaks to home. Taurus governs home, and it speaks to travel. And so, really allowing your home space to be a space that inspires your faith, inspires your desire to um, like invite people into your home where you feel comfortable. Like, yeah, let's do it at my place. Let's connect at my place, where there's space in your home because your home isn't taken or cluttered up by the remnants and ghosts of your love life past. This is a lot of what this is meant to be for you. It's giving you that sort of up level around these things. So I love to see it, Kat. This is wonderful for you. Really happy you're starting a new chapter in love. I think it has been overdue. Maybe not overdue, but let me put it another way. I do feel like it's right on time for you. A new chapter in love is like right on time. So I'm going to pull some cards now. I'm sorry I won't be able to show them to you since my phone died, but I'm going to pull them anyway. Um, you're looking for a new place as of last month. It does look like you'll find it this week. You're going to be with this new person. Awesome. Okay. So, awesome. All right. Let's pull some cards for Kat. Talk to me about. Okay. Let's hear about Kat's love life or the solstice this week. What do you want to tell us for the solstice this week for Kat? What's in her highest and best control? It's the wrong deck. I'm hearing she needs another deck. Oh, she gets a wisdom card, does she? Okay. Phew. And she gets the Rider Waite. Okay, got it. Cat bond already feels a little bit lighter. What does Cat bond need to know about the solstice this week? And how to use this energy to your highest and best good? What's coming, what's going in the solstice energy? Can you reveal God, the cat, what she needs to know? Okay, Temperance came out and the Three of Pentacles came out. And then, gosh, y'all want to tell a whole story? I need one card, not three. Thank you. Okay, the Moon. And I was told to get a Louise Hay card for you. Okay. So your Louise Hay card says, I am a yes person. If I dwell on what I don't want, then I will get more of it. I affirm only the good in life. And then we see the Temperance card upright, Three of Pentacles upright, and the Moon upright. This really lets me know that this solstice for you is going to be extraordinarily stabilizing emotionally. You may cry a little, not gonna lie. Bottom of the deck was Three of Swords upright, but this is telling me that this is going to allow you to get to emotional congruence and emotional alignment and emotional balance when it comes to anything that you've kind of quietly struggled with, quietly carried, quietly sort of um, emotionally tried to move through. And so this is, really giving this sort of encouragement for you to like do the work to let the past be the past, but also be really present in your third dimension when you're invited out, when you're going to do things. And then at times be the inviter, be the one who um, shares like this is what's going like this is what I want to do. Do you want to do it with me? Do you want to connect with me? Do you want to play with me? Be that person who gets herself out of her own shell, doesn't just wait for people to take her out of her shell. Because in doing that, that's some of what's going to allow emotional discharge for you by just introducing new energies into your frequency and into your person. It's going to help shift and shake you out of a funk or a slump or just emotional programming that you've been running, just consistently being around new people. Okay. Okay. So that's what I have here for you, Kat. Thank you. I'm going to close those Rider Waite back up and that Louise Hay card that those are the solstice messages for you. And Kylie, I'll take you first. Lady K, I'm so sorry. My phone died, so I can't give you visuals on the card. I will certainly pull them for you. Thanks, Kat, for letting me read for you. And let me just make sure nobody else jumped on the list once I closed it, because sometimes people do that. And we'll come right back. Okay, good. All right. So now we're going to do Kylie. And then we'll do Flower. We'll wrap up. 1986 to 30 a.m. Okay, you're gonna have to confirm I did all of this right, but let's see what's going on here in this chat. So Kat says, um, that Louise Hay card is spot on. Manifestations have been coming in super fast. That's good. Yeah, stay focused on the good. I'm apparently not supposed to be quiet about it. That's awesome. Acceptance of being a truth north and not fighting against what I am. Good for you. Truth node. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. Glad that that resonated, Kat. Thank you. Okay. Make sure, Kylie, make sure I did the birth details right. Long story short, I went to the bar and these two guys were there because of the situation and what was said, presumably both were gay. Well, the vibes were good and we exchanged info. And one of the two texts me regularly. He asks a lot of questions, which made me think, oh, what if he is bi? Well, hey, happy Pride. So yesterday he calls me out of the blue and said, I wanted to see what we both mutually interested in and what are you doing tomorrow? Tomorrow is today, and he asked to go eat food. Well, that sounds fun. Kylie says, thinking I should check the cards on my love life and see. Did you say 86? Excuse me, 96. Okay, right. Sorry, I didn't mean your old soul, 1996, Waukegan. Okay, 2:30 a.m. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, what's going on in Kylie's love life? Let's see. Reading starts at 5:31 p.m. Okay, so love is governed by the sun, and here we are with Venus conjunct the sun. You know, I'm surprised when we spoke on Friday you didn't bring this up, Kylie, but maybe you hadn't met them yet. But this is definitely a thing. So when Venus conjuncts a person's sun, for a period of time, they are extremely magnetic. And it happens for all of us once a year that Venus will come, sit on top of our sun. It's roughly a 30-day period where you get 10 degrees before and 10 degrees after your sun. Those 20 degrees of Venus atop your sun, that 1 month period, you just get like you're just more magnetic. You're really attractive to people. People want to be around with her, be around you. People want to connect. People feel good being with you. And yeah, you're just really magnetic. And so, yeah, that you would go out and get hit on makes a ton of sense. Not surprised, but let's see who else is talking to your sun at the 6th degree of Taurus. Saturn sneaking up from behind. And Jupiter's coming into sextile from the sign of Cancer in the house of dating, flirtation, and romance. I do feel like this could have some really nice emotional vibes for a period of time. It's about really putting yourself forward again with the message. And this is the message for all of us with Jupiter and Cancer. Be emotionally congruent, be emotionally honest, be emotionally truthful about what's happening, about where you're at, about how you feel, about what you want. So a lot is going to be asked of you in this connection in terms of vulnerability, Kylie. Um, this can go a long way for you as long as you're willing to really up the ante on your emotional transparency with people and just trust that if you put yourself out there, like good things can happen to you. Now, interestingly enough, let's just see who are the other players speaking to your sun right now. Okay, we also see Pluto square your sun. This is a much longer term aspect. It's a period of time where you can feel really empowered and very powerful because your sun sits in the third house. This lets me know that you're going to be empowered in the arena of communicating. A lot of your communication may come straight from your subconscious and bypass your conscious mind, like it comes from the depths of you and comes out your mouth before you realize you've said it. I know you're not technically a Sag rising, but this may give you some Sag rising vibes here, where it's like, "Oop, I didn't mean to say that, but I guess I said it, so I guess I meant it." This sort of thing. So, all of this to say, it's going to be a very empowering period of time for you when it comes to connecting with people in love over these next 30 days. And so, with these guys, let's get a little bit more specific. I'm going to pull some cards for you. Do you want me to ask about the guys or about love generally? Tell me what you want me to ask about, Kylie. Guys or about love generally? Oh, the girl was crazy who liked you. Yeah, well, sometimes boys are crazy who like you. You know, crazy is out here. That's for sure. Crazy is out here. Girl, we don't have time for maybe just the guys. Okay, you got it. Oh God. Um, you set up this lovely experience. Kylie called it in and received it with these two gents who wanted to talk to her. She felt good in the connections. She got a text back. Tell us what you want her to know with the connection with these guys. Oh, I love it. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Queen of Swords in reverse, Death card upright, Six of Swords and Four of Pentacles. Um, Interesting. With the Queen of Swords in reverse, the first thing that came out was the sense of your guard being down when it comes to connecting with it. Like, I can see this caught you off guard just by the way you shared the story, but also with this Queen of Swords in reverse, like, you weren't trying to head game the connection before you actually just connected with the guys. And this actually is part of what allowed them to come in, allowed them to connect with you, because it was just like, oh, just here, I'm connecting, and you're just here, you're connecting, just sort of thing. And so here's this lovely Queen of Swords, and she is, yeah, she's not going into this head first. She's just allowing herself to have the experience. Now, you know, this isn't to say that you're ignoring red flags. It's to say that you're not putting red flags where there are none. Okay. And that's a really beautiful thing. The death energy came out. The first thing that really popped in my head when I was looking at that death energy is that you could be dealing with a Scorpio or someone who has scorpionic energy, that sort of thing, because that's their card. But this is also because in the Light Seer Tarot, the Death card is specifically has the word rebirth written on it. This lets me know this is actually going to bring a part of you back online that may have felt a little offline for a little while, a part of you back to the conversation that you may have put on a shelf. And I like this for you. And then coming out together were the Six of Swords and the Four of Pentacles as its clarifier. That Six of Swords lets me know that this is really going to help you come into a place with the Four of Pentacles. You're moving into a place of greater sovereignty. He's a Leo. Okay, got you.
You're going to be moving into a place of greater sovereignty when it comes to through interacting with these gents. And in this way, what I mean is some of the emotional troubles of the past when it comes to love and connection, you're going to be able to put some of those down, Kylie, so that you're in a place where instead of feeling like so heavy, you're in a place where you're feeling like, you know what? I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I bring to the table. I don't just share it with anybody. I have something special to offer. And thank you for reminding me of that. I am a person of value and worth. And so that's this combination from the Light Seer Tarot that I'm seeing. Bottom of the deck was the Four of Swords reversed. And as you know, the Four of Swords normally speaks to taking a break, taking oneself out of the game, taking oneself off the dance floor. In reverse, this lets me know like if you had put yourself in timeout, this interaction is going to help you take yourself out of timeout. And I love to see that for you, Kylie. That's great. Okay. Yeah. A little additional message as I'm putting the cards back was the Three of Cups. I think you'll be able to have a great time with these guys. So yeah, if they invite you to hang out, see what it's like for you. Have an experience. Really good stuff, Kylie. Thank you for letting me look. And thank you for being such an awesome moderator and being here today. It's really helpful to have you direct traffic while I handled readings and managed the list and two cameras and a new device and trying to get it all right. Like, I really appreciate you standing by so that I could um, run the technical show and provide the readings. Okay, Flower, it's your turn. Are you ready? How's that sit with you, Kylie? How's that feel? Feels wonderful. Okay. Well, good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, it looks like they are giving you a little bit of a like, oh, like Kylie gets to get her groove back, which is nice. I like that for you. And yes, good luck with it all. Although you don't need luck. God made you attractive and magnetic. So you're already good to go. You just need to receive it and let it in. Okay, Flower. Flower's reading starts at 5:42. Bridgeport, Connecticut. So many things happening at once. I'm not sure where to focus. Okay, this is Uranus. I can already tell. Do you see any repeat patterns I should focus on? Sitting on my hands is totally an option. Okay, so yeah, Uranus is definitely on the move. I'm not surprised you feel like there's a lot happening at once. Uranus is on, and I knew it was going to be on the move in one of the angles, and it is. So here's Uranus preparing to move into Gemini. It's not just in Gemini, it's also going to move into your 10th house. Then it's going to retrograde back into the ninth and into Taurus before going back into Gemini next year. So it's a lot of activity. And at this particular angle, it activates a lot in your chart. It's activating your job, it's activating travel, it's activating career and home and family. It's also activating communication and siblings and cousins and neighbors. There's a lot of action going on here. And by default in design, it's also going to impact your relationship sector as well, but we'll get there in a moment. What I'm saying in terms of focus, let me just see how you're constructed. This may be about letting go. Nope, it's not. You already know how to go with the flow. So let me just see what planets this is activating. Okay, this is activating your natal Neptune heavily, which is your love sector. Oh, okay. Well, flower, this is really inviting you to get comfortable with letting love in again, to be honest with you. Some of these shakeups is about letting you get really comfortable being a person who receives help and support. Some of the help and support is really going to come from siblings, from cousins and neighbors, and letting those people step up. I know that there are some people in your world, and it's a little bit like, um, you're completely unhelpful. Could you please sit down? But I am seeing here that the people who can be helpful for you and who have offered, like, with that, if you ever need anything, this is the time to need something, flower. This is the time to ask. This is the time to say yes. This is the time to let yourself be supported. Um, and so, because I do see there's a lot going on, there's a lot of moving parts to manage. And so, this is the right time to allow yourself to let God show you who's got your back. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who will want to help you who are not going to want to help you the way that you need help. Frustrating as that may be. However, it is necessary for you to just let people love you, like accept love in the ways that it comes in. There's a lot of people, like, we get to twice the age you are, flowers. So thinking like in your 80s or in your 90s, right? There will be a time in your life where you may feel forgotten or overlooked. And you just wish anybody would remember you or anybody would come say hi to you and connect with you, even if they are helping in unhelpful ways. Just nice to have another person around. This is really your time to let people in and just be grateful for the connections you have, because again, this is letting me know that this is ultimately letting someone in is the setup, because Neptune governs your seventh house of commitment and partnership. You want someone to love you, but you can't even let somebody help you, flower? How's that going to work? This is your time to practice letting people help you, right? Letting people in, and God sets you up to cut your teeth on some siblings, some cousins, and some neighbors and break that wall down with them. But let's just see what the cards want to share in terms of this. Um, I'm going to use my Black Angel Oracle cards for you and the also Light Seer Tarot. Actually, I'm really good to use the Prism of Visions. So let's pull this Prism of Visions. What messages have angels, flowers, light? So, what messages do you have for her? How can she break through? Okay, Strength reversed, Empress reversed. Yeah, girl, stop trying to do this all by yourself. It's only holding you up. And like Kylie, she wanted to come out. Oh, the tiny elephants card and the four of swords. Okay, upright. Ooh, bottom of the deck, death. Yeah, girl. Okay, so strength in reverse is pretty obvious. Stop trying to do it all by yourself. Empress reversed is doing it all by yourself, really just like it's not helping you. It's not helping you do anything. Um, and so this is talking about getting out of that place where it needs to all be on your shoulders and letting people who are strong where you're weak, letting them in to support you. Um, the Prisma Visions deck has always includes a random card. It's like a card that's not in the traditional tarot, but it's a visual image of something that allows the reader to receive a message just through the image. What's interesting about this one, it's called Tiny Elephants, and it shows a elephant and a baby elephant holding on to the mama's tail, following the mama. And in the background, there's an image of two people holding hands and almost merging spirits in a sort of way. And so, in this world of sort of receiving support in the vein of the conversation we're already having, there are people who can guide you, support you, lead you in places where you don't have a map. And so just trusting those people at this time is going to go a long way because they're divinely placed and divinely guided to help you go beyond what you know how to do for yourself. And specifically, this is talking about people from your family, maybe even your own kids. Now, with Uranus also opposite your natal Jupiter, literally right now, Jupiter being the governor of the house of family, this just really echoes what I'm seeing here with the mama and the baby elephant. And the clarifying card here is the Four of Swords, which again just lets me know trying to do it all yourself is like a recipe for exhaustion and burnout, which we know that is so 2018. We don't do exhaustion and burnout in 2025, do we? We do letting people help us and putting people's strengths to work in 2025. Okay, so the Oracle card, um, ooh, the Lover came out immediately for you. The Black Angel cards. Let me read the Lover card for you. I used to always wish for this card to come out for me. You are feeling fully alive in your body and in your life. Waking path is passion. Sleeping path is abuse by self and others. The Lover holds life sacred. As a lover, your divine work and affection is highly respected for its tenderness and loving kindness. Along with affection, your divine work in love makes you more likely to honor every moment of life as a precious opportunity to experience the deep sensations of being fully alive. In your waking path, your love comes through so abundantly and readily that people want to possess it. Your erotic nature and passion make everything you do seductive. Your very presence excites people. People often marvel at your ability to be passionate about things others would find mundane. People don't realize your sensuality is used to communicate what you're feeling, whether it's sadness or happiness, or to gain attention. This can be confusing to people who cannot distinguish the difference between your desire for sex and sensual nature of the way you relate to people. Sensuality is cherishing what the body senses through smell, taste, touch, sight, and hearing. Being sexual is quite a different matter, however. For example, although the rush of an ocean wave across your toes may stimulate sexual desire, the pleasure of the water alone is sensual. That I can relate to. Sometimes I get in the shower at the end of the day and I'm like, oh, this is the best feeling I've had all day. Your selection of this card could be a signal that you have some concern about portraying yourself or being perceived by others as too sexual or too affectionate. We learn early, and this is again written for Black women, so I'm going to read it that way, but apply it to you as it applies. We learn early as young Black girls to keep our dresses down, our legs closed, our eyes diverted, and body still in the presence of boys and men. These practices, while protecting some of us, have also affected our ability to present ourselves as fully passionate and alive. The sensual and sexual energy we have as Black women has often been misunderstood and misused by others in the unsacred zone of molestation, incest, and rape. These unsacred zones breed disconnection from the enjoyment of our sensual and sexual passion. On the sleeping path, You too may have misused your own divine lover qualities in manipulation or self abuse. That can come in many forms. One major misuse is to think that sex is all you have to offer, and offering sex, you avoid rejection. The self abuse arises when you are sexual without the desire to be sexual. Now, Flower, I'm hearing that this part is for you, and it's not the sexual part, it's the trying to make yourself do things and be excited about things and feel alive about things that really hold no enthusiasm and life force for you for the sake of other people. One of the messages I'm getting for you that's not in this book, but that's just coming through so clearly, there is a relationship coming for you, Flower, but it's going to be imperative that you've mastered right use of life force energy in order to be an equal match to the partner who's coming in. So, learning how to have your yes and your no actually be your yes and your no, having your openness and your closedness be your truth, not the truth you think is going to make somebody else happy or fulfilled. Okay. Not giving so that you can get, but giving because it's aligned and you're giving yourself honestly, Flower. That's the message that I'm really getting for you here. So apply it as it aligns for you. But a misuse of yourself or imposed abuse by others impacts the soul in a way that leaves you uncertain about sex, love, and intimacy. Eventually, the soul is seemingly flat, lifeless, and detached. You may become numb and walk onto the sleeping path without even knowing. On the sleeping path, your soul is deflated and your beauty is condensed and locked inside. You may even become subject to more abuse in this condition. Lover qualities are not limited to lust or a simple basic human need for sex. Rather, they are more inclusive of passion in all parts of your life. Oh my gosh, and I'm getting another message for you. Part of passionate renewal for you is really starting to pay attention to what gives you life and putting down things that don't, duty and obligation and shoulds. This is really going to be critical in setting the stage for love to come in. So, if you are not great at keeping your books, looking at you, K Moon, hire somebody to do it so that you can reserve your life giving parts of you for things that actually need your life breathed into it. You got it? Okay. Okay, so in other words, get hungry for your life. The time and energy you put into ensuring the satisfaction of your libido should also be used in satisfying your whole self, not just your sexual self. Soul revival entails awakening the sensory awareness in every part of your life by doing things you love to do. Sensual and sexual energy is creativity and spiritual energy. It is electricity the body creates to propel you into action. You are beautiful, erotic, passionate, and more. Okay, Flower, that was for you, girl. Apparently, they really needed you to get that message. So, that concludes today's mini readings. Thank you all for being here. How'd that resonate, Flower? You have to let me know. Hmm. Beautiful description. Flower says, I'm feeling this. I appreciate you. And that was beautiful. Good. And 2018 was your last burnout. Yeah. Yeah. Burnout is so 2018. That's what we're not doing in 2025. We are not doing burnout. So that's what I have for you. Okay. Um, you just okay. Yeah. And if you've got a family member that's good with planning, hey, tell them to come on, show them the to-do list and say, help me organize this. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for playing. Thank you. Oh, Kylie, thank you. I appreciate that. I really love what I do. I love that I've been gifted with the ability to do this and share messages that help you find your way. It's a real treat for me. So Thank you for enjoying my gift with me. Um, and I look forward to playing with you all next time. Definitely make sure you're on the private list and sub to this channel if you want another live mini reading. We might be doing at least one more before we close out the month of June. I just don't know when I'm going to have time and energy for it. It's going to be sort of pop up. So if you want to get in on it, make sure you're on the list. Okay. Your daughter's been taking care of planning. I love that for you, Flower. That's good. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you over on the main channel for the next lunar update. Take great care and